Hello everybody. It's Friday. It is the Friday. And potentially the last time we are playing Virtue's Last Reward. So
I really think the last time.
I didn't just wear one aluminium hat, I wore both of them. Hello everybody. Hello Honest Psycho. Happy Friday. How are you doing?
And even then, it's not going to protect you from the bullshittery that we're probably still gonna find.
I don't care.
I lost my head. Even the head can't handle it.
To show you the difference in head sizes between Tifa and me, like, it works on her, right? No, watch.
Like, that also kind of works.
It looks like it's way too small, which it is. I am big-headed.
Your head is definitely bigger. Are you just gonna make a tower of the heads?
I am trying to pile them somewhere so that the knistern, the crackling of the aluminium foil being like moved and folded doesn't get too annoying and it don't like, move around too much. But I hope it doesn't get too much. It's cold. It's freaking cold over here.
I actually turned on the heating for like 10 minutes.
Tifa
the first time of the year.
Ducking out of a frame. This is a good start.
I forgot.
People are now coming in. Yes, this is how we normally stream. One of us is on screen and the other is doing maintenance.
Yeah, I forgot to turn it off.
Chair stream, basically.
And it's hard to reach.
So, suddenly it's winter over here. Isn't it this week where we're supposed to get snow?
That's what I heard, but apparently not anymore.
In the weekend.
Like, I don't know, it keeps changing.
Yeah, the weather's all kind of messed up. Now in the northeastern part of the country, there's floodings. Or there might be floods. The water levels are rising in the Baltic Sea, which coincidentally is kind of funny because in the Northern Sea, they're like connected with a channel and stuff, there the water is low because it's all suddenly it's not fall, it's winter, it's freezing temperatures outside. We have both a cup of hot tea here. We're both wearing sweaters. We turned on the heating. My fingers are cold.
You know, it's starting to get cold when you start typing and your fingers can't keep up. Like, they're slow and like...
It's like my fingers have radical 6. They're suddenly like...
At least I know what jacket to put on everyone.
That's true.
I didn't even realize that I had to clean my jacket. So on Monday, I quickly took it to the, what do you call it, dry cleaner?
Yes.
To the dry cleaner, and I'm like, please clean my jacket before it gets cold. And they're like, yeah, well, Friday we'll have it done. And I'm like,
sure.
And I still didn't pick it up. And I've been basically going to work in this jacket, the other one.
That's not true.
I started wearing your summer coat over this yesterday.
It's not a summer coat.
It's a summer coat.
It's a longer coat. I've talked about that thing before. That's the one that I wore when crazy German lady walked up to me and told me, you know who else hated fun? That one.
It's the Nazi fun coat, according to the lady. But...
Yes. Yes, it is. You can put it that way and then people will misunderstand if they don't know the story.
That's why I said according to the lady. Even if you don't know the story, it's not me. It's been cold and I was supposed to pick it up today, but I also had to do some overtime at work because I'm not done with my work yet. And then there was no time to pick up my jacket and now I need to go get it tomorrow morning. But tomorrow morning your dad's gonna be here. So I'm just gonna leave you two alone while I get my coat and
just pick it up tomorrow together.
Yeah, no.
You can borrow my coat for one more day. I've got a thick winter jacket that I like wearing.
I don't see.
Crazy neighbor, got it. Yeah, let's go with that. See? I told you.
Speaking of crazy neighbor, if you recall, 2 weeks ago I got interrogated by one of our neighbors who wanted to know what we're doing here and how long we've been living here.
What you are doing here.
Mainly what I'm doing here.
You don't sound German to him.
Can't get all of these foreigners in here. I mean, I get it. Fully get it, of course. Sure thing.
That's how they seem. That's not what Tifa is saying.
And now I think they got a visitor. And I feel like they were here for them.
Oh.
And I feel like I completely fucked up the house protocol because we met up on the way from home.
How about some context?
I am starting the context now. We met up on the way home. We finished around the same time. Wanted to come into the apartment, and there was a lady with a little kid standing in front of the door, and I'm like, hey, I got keys.
No, we wanted to get into the building, and that's when we bumped into a woman and I believe her child who also wanted to go into the building, but to a neighbor. Now, if you say people were standing in front of the apartment, that seems like they wanted to go to us. I know it's a detail, but I think it matters here.
You're nitpicking.
Can you follow her story?
I left the door open for them so that they could come into the building. We were out, and then I realized, no, I should have just closed the door in front of their face or asked them to fill out like all of these forms in sixfold.
Who are you? What are you doing here? My neighbor needs to know. I personally don't care, but my neighbor needs to know who you are because otherwise he can't sleep very well at night.
How long are you staying? Do you come here more often? Where's your family from? No, I mean, where are they really from?
The question people ask when they realize it's kind of a weird question, maybe, but I need to ask it anyway for reasons that elude me. Like, yeah.
Next time I see the neighbor, I'll apologize for not sticking to protocol.
There is no protocol.
Harris is visitors.
Wear a sombrero to confuse it more. Draw on a fake mustache. Yeah, the whole 9 yards. Do everything to confuse me.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
But seriously, I am so happy it's Friday. It's been a really long week, but I have to say yesterday was quite a good day. We had like this little work party.
I didn't.
I had a little work party. And it was nice. We had like hot dogs, some typical potato salad, like, you know, the stuff you eat.
What's typical potato salad compared to untypical potato salad?
Yeah, potato salad on a party seems very German.
I think potato salad is a thing in more countries around the world, but...
I liked it. It was good. I still had some today for lunch.
Did it have raisins in it?
No.
Good.
Have you ever seen potato salad with raisins?
Apparently that's a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Could actually be good. What?
You are so white it hurts.
Like, I would try it. It wouldn't be my first choice, but it's not like, oh, I'm not going to eat that.
There are so many stories online of where people go meet up with friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, whatever, for a barbecue. Where everybody brings something. And then there's always this one weirdo that brings potato salad with things that don't belong in a potato salad. Like raisins. That's like the one thing I remember. Like, you can argue about basically every ingredient for a salad, but it's unanimously agreed that raisins don't belong in a potato salad.
Have you ever eaten it?
You're this close to being single after 12 years.
Honestly, you sound like a pineapple on pizza hater after never having tried it.
No, those are two completely different things.
No. Like I said, wouldn't be my first choice, but I'd eat it. Anyway, we had tasty dinner, we had some drinks.
She's saying these things because she's very forgiving. It's... Don't hold it against her.
And for the first time ever, I had beer come out of my nose. Like, I've had all kind of things come out, like spaghetti, all of that stuff.
Thank you for immediately following that up with what exactly. Because you can't just put a statement like, I've had many different substances come out through my nose. Usually that's the point where you just go quiet.
That's why I gave the example. And I can tell you, it hurts. Beer burns.
There's alcohol in there.
It burns.
And it's fizzy.
I think in the evening I still had foam come out of my nose. Like I had some kind of weird rabies.
Oh, yeah, because we're foaming at the mouth. Thank you for not foaming at the nose. So list the things that have come out through your nose. Beer.
Beer. Spaghetti.
Okay.
Several types of spaghetti. Like also like vermicelli, I had macaroni once.
Wait, how did you multiple times chortle so hard that you got various types of pasta come out through your nose?
You never had that, like when you've been sick and you like want to puke, but there's so much coming out that it starts coming out of your nose.
That actually happens to me every time, which is why I hate having to throw up.
See? Only once.
Hello Dark Lord, happy Friday, how are you doing? Sorry. Carry on.
I can think of some food items. But I think the spaghetti was the most fun because that's the one I most remember. Besides the beer one, seeing how that happened yesterday. Because it went like... really?
Yeah, I mean, true. If you see the noodle here, you might as well pull it out that way, because what's the alternative? To stuff it back?
No.
Did you eat it? It's Tifa. We do not know the answer. Tifa, wait. Tifa, people are investigating. People need to know. Did you eat the spaghetti after pulling it out through your nose? Thank you. I think it's better if she doesn't answer that.
I think it's safe to say that I did not. What am I, an animal?
She didn't say no. She avoided the question.
I said no.
No, you said it's safe to say I didn't. You didn't say you didn't.
I don't remember. I don't think I did. So anyone has any other puking stories?
It's not about puking.
Seeing how we somehow went into that?
Why are you suddenly talking about puking? It's about like having something in your mouth when like you inhale, exhale weirdly, and then it... Anyway.
Nose extortions?
It's safe to say because she didn't. I'm not sure. Anyway, so liquids and noodles, that's the things you remember.
Yeah, some like chunks of other food items, but nothing worse, I believe.
Here's mine. Various liquids, because you know I drink something when somebody makes me laugh and I just go... It hurts so bad. Nose extortions. Is that the proper term? That sounds fancy.
No, that's what I just called it.
Oh, then it doesn't sound fancy. If it's the official term, I'll take it. If Tifa mentioned that, nah. So, here's the thing.
Liquids also suck though, especially if you need to do like this nose wash and you need to like snort water up and then like take it out again. That is
I've been told multiple times when I have like a sinus cavity infection to use a neti pot. That's a brand name, I think. I don't know what the non-brand one is. It's like this water thing. You like tilt your head over like a sink and when you pour it in through one nostril, it goes like through your brain or whatever and it comes out. I can't do this.
It cleans your brain.
First of all, I would need liters because there's nothing in there. Second of all, the moment a droplet of water goes up my nostril, I feel like I'm dying. Like when I take a shower and I make the dumb mistake, like I wash my face and I tilt my head a little bit too high and water just gets in there, I feel like dying. It's the worst feeling for me. But
it's not a nice feeling.
But the worst thing I got out through my nose when it was in my mouth was hazelnuts.
Ooh, that got stuck, didn't it?
I love nuts. And yes, I said what I said. Like sunflower seeds, pecans, however you want to pronounce that stuff, almonds, pistachios. Hazelnuts have always had a soft spot for me. So I'm like 15, 16, I don't recall, and I'm eating some like roasted hazelnuts because, I don't know, I treated myself, I guess.
Might as well.
And I was watching, I forgot what it was, some comedy program or comedy movie, I don't recall. Something that made me laugh. So I'm eating them, my mouth is full with just a fresh handful of hazelnuts chucked in my mouth. I chewed maybe twice. I start laughing and it shoots through my nose. I believe half a hazelnut harvest was stuck in my face. Somewhere in here. It hurt. I think that's like the facial equivalent of passing a kidney stone. Did you survive? arguable. I don't think I've ever been the same person.
Like,
no.
Barely.
Maybe this is all like me, like still passing out, and this is all like a fever dream kind of thing. I'd be okay with that. I'm enjoying it.
Did everything turn hazy?
That's a good one. No, it didn't. I just remember immense searing pain. Because, you know, the usual, like getting something out through your nose that you shouldn't. Like, that's already bad. But one of the hazelnuts was almost still completely intact. And it was in there.
How did you get that out?
Blowing really hard.
It reminds me a little bit of...
I remember having a headache afterward just from like blowing my nose until it came out clean for like a minute.
It reminds me a bit of kids putting everything in their nose and then
like
it needs
coins.
to be taken out, like coins, Lego blocks. I think I had a little block stuck in my nose once. Or like buttons, little balls. And then in the end you need to go to the doctor to squeeze it out.
I remember being like very young, 4 or 5 maybe, and I remember seeing on TV something with kids putting stuff up their nose and them talking about like, oh yeah, no, you shouldn't do that, it's dangerous. My parents telling me the same thing, don't do that. And the next thing I remember doing is going into my room and putting something into my nose. I just did weird stuff like that.
Well, sometimes it works the wrong way.
Thankfully, I was able to get it out myself. I was already like old enough to realize I can just like get it out by like blowing my nose and stuff.
Sometimes it can be really hard. I saw a video not too long ago of a little kid that put like candy up her nose and the mom couldn't get it out. So they went to a doctor. Mm-hmm. And he just like tilted her head back. Mm-hmm. Like gave her mouth to mouth. Like took in air. Blew really hard in her mouth.
Oh, because she couldn't blow hard enough through her nose. He did it for her, basically.
Yeah, and that thing like shot out right in his face. It was like, oh, that's a really smart.
Like a human cannon. That's not bad.
You just like pump it out, basically.
Yeah, but I think doing it with like mouth-to-mouth thing is less frowned upon than if you use like an air pump for a bike and tell your kid, hold this in your mouth. And then you stand there like...
Keep the mouth shut.
It's not a good idea, I think.
Basically.
Also, apparently those neti pots, sometimes the only way to get through a winter head cold.
I think, if anything, I then prefer to have like... You know, when you put steaming hot water, I think with salt or something.
People say boiling water.
No, it needs to steam.
Yeah, so it's boiling.
Nah, it needs to be steaming hot water. Yes, boiling, but it needs to stay steaming. And I think you put some salt in, I'm not sure. And then you just hang over it with like a towel to keep all the steam.
Are you today years old when you realize water starts steaming when it's boiling?
Yes, I know, but it needs to keep steaming.
Which is why you take boiling.
I'm putting the emphasis on the steaming part. Don't make me put a hazelnut up your butt.
Maybe later. Yeah, we do something similar over here. Like, the neti pot hasn't really been a thing, at least in Germany, I think. I don't know about the Netherlands.
I'm not even for sure. What was that again? The spray thing or
the water thing? But the idea over here usually is if you need to like inhale something and do that like, I don't know, like water vapor up there to like help you clear out your nostrils, like your sinuses. You take hot water, pour it in a bowl, then like there's some like smelling stuffs that you can use. I don't know. With me, just hot water vapor is enough. When you hold your head over that,
but I think typically they throw something in there.
Yeah, I think there's some stuff that you can like inhale that like helps your lungs and stuff. Yeah. Why are we talking about like remedies for cold symptoms?
Well, it is kind of cold /
Don't do it with
flu
beer.
Season.
That's true.
Like so many people are sick, and like everyone in public transport is sick. And, like
everyone in public transport is either sniveling and coughing or staring at the people sniveling and coughing and not wearing masks. That was my experience today. I had to physically go to work.
The one thing I don't like I understand if you're sick, you still need to get places and you need to go places. Like maybe you need to go to take a train to go to your doctor. Like I don't know, it's a big city.
Walking is hard.
But like if it's this morning, for example, we're in a pretty empty-ish train. There's plenty of seats and this dude comes coughing and sniffling and sits right next to me. I'm like,
well, you are quite cute. That can have like healing qualities.
Like, personally, if I'm sick and I need to go take a train, I'll look for a seat that's more empty, you know?
Yeah, I already don't want to be among people, so why would I do that? It's like, do these people think they're helping your immune system by giving you something to fight off?
Probably not. And then I moved seats a bit further away, and he gave me the insulted look that I also give people.
Why are you getting up?
Something wrong with me?
Yes, actually, yes.
Do I smell?
No, but you're sick, sir. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't mind public transport. I like the idea of public transport, like the whole idea of being driven around the world. That seems super cool to me.
That's quite nice.
But some people don't know how to behave. It's kind of weird.
But yeah, it's the season.
Yes, it is.
This is how Tifa got Radical 6.
Tifa, with your Radical 6, are you still in the brain slowing down phase, or are you on the amplitude part where your brain is speeding up again? Okay, it's the first, thank you. Should I talk slower for you?
I probably got it earlier already, because sometimes I had meetings at work where it all felt like this.
The people who were talking super slow?
Yeah, or like super fast, and I'm like...
I'm about to morph!
What are we talking about?
Did you jump back or forward in time? I mean, technically forward, because now you're here. Do you remember all that happened in between?
No. Seeing how fast
memory loss, one
Monday
of the symptoms.
To Friday went, it's definitely going into the future. Which is also why I don't remember the recap, in case you're going to ask.
I wasn't yet, but in a moment I will. My week didn't feel fast. No. But I've been looking forward to this today, and there is a chance today will actually be the time we get to the true ending of Virtue's Last Reward. So how about we try to get there?
I'm not sure if we're really gonna finish it. It seems like too short of a time still to like wrap everything up.
Oh, we've got, I think, like 2 blocks of flow left, and with the pacing so far, it could be anywhere between 6 hours, because I think the longest block, the single longest block so far with us was 3 hours. It could be 5 minutes. I don't know. We've got nothing else prepared. If we're done with the game in like 20 minutes, I guess today then we can still read through the golden files, and otherwise we do it on Sunday. I have no idea.
I do not see it happening.
What you sipping on today?
I am not feeling very cheeky today, so I am having my usual black tea with milk.
And I'm drinking a fresh black tea with a teaspoon of honey. Because I've been talking all day yesterday at work. I've been talking most of the day at work today, and I've been talking all day in between, and my throat will be really happy. And I'm very glad there is comparatively little speaking lines in this game compared to like when we played Danganronpa.
I mean, yeah, there we had to do voice everything.
90% of the text, it felt like, which was cool.
With the exception of the...
But the up and down with the voices eventually got to my throat. So I'm preparing myself and making sure that my throat doesn't hurt later.
And yeah, we do have the gold files, but I really don't think we're going to finish it now. Unless they're going to go with the, we're not going to give you any answers right now.
How about you give us some answers right now, and you do finish, potentially, the last recap for Virtue's Last Reward.
So last time we played Virtue's Last Reward on My Favorite Letter is X. We finished speaking with hologram
Akane Kurashiki.
Who was like, oh, my life depends on you. Am I dead? Am I alive? Am I Schrödinger's Akane?
How about we start at the beginning? You are once again skipping to like the last lines of a conversation with him.
We had kind of part with her.
No, we didn't. So what actually had happened is we had activated the holographic message from Akane.
Oh yeah, we actually started with the whole conversation.
You probably want all the answers that you have questions for in your heads, Sigma and Phi, and you're getting them today, but only some of them, because this is a pre-recorded message and I don't have time.
She didn't even say you're getting them today.
Some of them.
She was just naming and dropping questions we might have and didn't really answer a lot of them.
Yeah, for somebody who knows that they have little time to record a message, there was a lot of meandering, kind of like this just now. So, Akane informed us that once again, maybe if you don't see the different timelines as different points in space, but you were able to transcend to a higher dimension, you would be able to see that they're all connected, like...
Can I make this the shorter version?
Like the thing when you cut roots and when you see a tree.
You're making it confusing.
Anyway, we can time travel.
Yes, and Akane was like, the whole reason why this is set up is because to make us, Phi and Sigma, be able to time travel and not lose our memories along the way.
And that's the AB project.
Yes.
After, before project. The whole Nonary game, from what we've learned from her, is a gauntlet for Sigma and Phi specifically to get so good at jumping, like projecting their consciousness into different timelines so that they actually retain their memory, which usually doesn't happen. Like maybe potentially more people can do the consciousness jumping thing, but they don't retain their memory.
Which
to do this, you have to be good at it.
We have seen over parts of the game. Like we only saw like a little bit or like
bits
a line.
And pieces.
We saw like bits and pieces, and the further we got, the more bits and pieces you would still remember.
Sigma
but
just
not everything.
I remember things.
Yeah, and now we're at a point where we can actually jump and we remember everything.
Yes, our memories come back way faster.
Yeah, but almost immediately even.
Yes.
And that is when Akane went like, am I dead? Am I alive?
I'm Schrödinger's cat. Am I alive, Phi? Am I dead? And then when we were just about to be really angry because they had to anticipate that Ten Miyuji was going to be in the room with us, she goes, hi Ten Miyuji. And they have a sweet moment, and then she goes, but you'll see me again soon. And we were like, no way, is she alive? Is that why we never found the body? And then we leave the room and it's like, to be continued. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we had an end. No, we first talked about options, about going back in time, whatever, and then we got the to be continued.
Yes, out of nowhere, seemingly.
Oh, you didn't agree with me on that last time. I told you it was out of nowhere.
I have different feelings about it. Carry on.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you're on my side now, Monster Inside. How are you doing? So, we then managed to jump back in time, like...
A new part of a flow unlocked.
Yeah, before the actual game starts, like an hour before we wake up in the game.
A prequel to the original beginning of the game. Amazing.
We enter the bodies of that time flow, which is the flow we're also currently in. So we went back in time, not into a different dimension. Two different things, which we can both do. And basically saved Akane from Dio.
Yes.
Before she was killed.
Because we solved our way out of the AB room by not doing any of the puzzles. We tried, because it's funny. But because we already knew the answer to the safe. We could just key in the code and then we left. And then exactly...
With a really nice dropkick.
Sigma and Phi have just climbed out of a thing. And they see Dio. He's about to stealth attack Akane with a knife. And Sigma's like, no, we have to do something, we won't be there on time. No, it was all for nothing. And then Phi suddenly goes ballistic, takes speed, runs, jumps off of the AB room and does this flying drop kick into the back of Dio, knocking him out cold. It was so satisfying.
That was really satisfying,
yes.
But then we have a very not satisfying conversation, like why are you doing this and why would you have yourself killed and why do the rest get killed?
Akane basically went like YOLO, it was necessary.
It was necessary, like all of these people need to die because it's necessary for you guys to get your training.
Yeah, you had to go through all of these different iterations of what could possibly happen in these different instances of time. so that you get good at morphogenetic fields and the after-before effect of you being able to move your consciousness backwards and forwards in time into your own bodies.
Yep. Before we actually travel back to the current time and our own bodies, Akane gave us a key which she put around Sigma's ankle.
Yes.
So when we went back, because our time ran out, we went back by ourselves. Akane told us to do so
went
we just
like,
did
well, I'm gonna put Dio into the box over there because that's what needs to happen. And
People
you guys need
to
to
wake
leave.
up.
And we're like, no, we're just gonna stay here. It's like, no, you need to leave. Like, time still needs to happen. You still need to get back to where you just left from, but now you have the key on your legs because now I'm alive, so things can happen now. So go back. And I'm like, no, click.
We went back.
Yes.
We actually woke up in the infirmary because after time jumping, we just dropped unconscious, I guess.
Like in Bleach.
Makes sense. I mean, our
Our
soul
consciousnesses
kind
had
of
left our bodies.
We woke up, we have the key, and now let's see what happens.
And another thing Tifa didn't mention.
I mentioned
we
everything.
had been out for multiple hours.
Oh
And
yeah,
when
everyone
we came to,
did the AB rooms.
everybody had gathered together. They locked up Dio by him still being knocked out and him being handcuffed
True.
to the sink in the infirmary.
And
in the
everyone
meantime,
now has 9 points.
everybody just kept playing the AB game to get infinite points. And now we all have at least 9 points. We can leave.
But
and
we're leaving Dio behind.
Exactly. They had a vote.
That was the nicest thing.
Funnily enough, it was Alice that was like, no, I'm gonna take Dio along. He needs to be brought to justice. And the rest was like, well, how about we just leave him here?
It makes sense
Because
though, I understand
you
the
guys,
feeling.
the Sois people are gonna come back. Like, just get him. But first, we need to get out.
I understand the need and want to bring this dude with you from Alice's point of view.
Yes.
But then she's the one carrying him and she's also not gonna do that.
Yeah. And it was clear that they can't play multiple times with Dio. Yes, and he doesn't deserve it.
It was kind of nice to see how suddenly
Everybody
everything...
again banded together.
Yeah, just banded together. And it's like either because Dio wasn't there or we weren't there.
True.
It's like...
True. There was actually a moment where Sigma asked himself that, like, did they all just cooperate because I wasn't here?
No,
was
he
it
didn't.
Dio? Yes, he did.
No, he said...
Was it because we had
wondering.
a common enemy?
No, because we all banded together to get rid of the bombs, but not because we weren't there. That was our discussion.
It felt like it could have been actually in the game. And here we are. I think it's time to leave this place. Are you ready, Tifa?
I am ready.
Are you ready? Am I ready? Click, click. There we go. Let's do this.
Let's
Hello, Morton.
get there.
How are you doing? Happy Friday. Talking about being ready.
Everybody
I made
ready?
it just in time. Did you project
Very
your consciousness
perfect
back or forward in time to make it?
How's your Friday coming along? How's everyone's Friday coming along?
Exactly.
Let's do this.
Everybody ready? I'm gonna open it.
Yes, just get on with it.
Everyone else swallowed and nodded. I grabbed the lever and pulled it down.
How nice.
I timeline jumped to the perfect moment to catch your stream. Hello, Ringo. Happy Friday. How are you doing?
What he said.
I think we're actually gonna finish this today.
I really don't think we're going to finish this. We're waiting for Spider-Man 2 to download. I have seen so many messages about that.
Happy Sonic Superstars Day, happy Spider-Man 2 Day, and happy
The Wonder
Super
Game, I think.
Mario Wonder, I think it's called, Day. I haven't bought the game myself. Alright, everybody, let's move.
Wait, didn't Spider-Man already come out yesterday?
Today.
Was it today? Oh.
Yes. Mario Wonder is nice. I didn't get to play it yet. I haven't even bought the game yet. Still need to do that.
The Spider-Man one or which one?
I haven't gotten the chance to play or order Mario Wonder yet.
Oh, I didn't hear you say Mario Wonder.
The Spider-Man one. No, there is not yet a crossover game with Mario and Spider-Man. Maybe when Disney buys Nintendo.
I didn't hear you say the Wonder Game.
It's fine.
Otherwise I wouldn't have asked. Like great, unfortunately, flying out tomorrow morning to visit my grandma who's going into hospice. Ooh, I am sorry to hear that. How long will you be staying?
Give her a hug from us too.
Not just to your grandma, but to you as well.
Yes, remember to take care of yourself as well. It's important.
Yeah, like that is rough.
Spider Mario Wonder. I only have seen the elephant transformation. Maybe there is a Spider Mario in it. Could be.
Can we put Spider-Man as Princess Peach now?
I think most of you would agree and be very happy to see Peach in a skin-tight Spider-Man outfit. Yeah, I think that there's fan art of that at least.
Personally, I was thinking of Spider-Man in a Princess Peach outfit, but we can swap both ways.
Personally? Cat puns? Zero escape versus us reward?
Here, Sigma is leaking.
Red meow? Nobody even mentioned a cat, I just did.
Leaking into you.
I didn't need to tell him twice. The room inside was clearly a loading elevator that looked sort of like a large plate on top of a huge pedestal. We ran to the center of a plate and turned around. The number 9 door stood wide open.
2, 1, 0.
Oh, one last thing we forgot to mention during the recap, as we always do, at least one thing. We learned the true name of Zero Jr.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Lagomorph.
Lagomorph, true.
Like the genus of bunnies.
I absolutely forgot about that. It's not cute.
As it is, Lagomorph. I like it. I don't hate it.
I wouldn't call my bunny then.
I'll call you that.
The number 9 door is closing.
Hopefully for good. Hopefully for good. If we never have to see another one of those, I'm okay with it.
Well, we already know the way, sorta. I think Akane is gonna wait for us. Remember her, I will be watching you.
Yeah, I'll be with you all the way.
Closed. This ends the Nonary Game. Thank you for your participation.
You're welcome.
The game is over. All doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked.
Not that we care. Oh
Not
wait,
that Dio cares.
wait! I was thinking about that this morning when I took a shower.
What?
If the AB project is to superpower someone into being able to, including the memory, travel back and forth in their own body and time. If you put Dio in there, and with Akane telling us that everybody in the group technically has these powers.
Did she say that?
Yes, everybody has access to the morphogenic field, that's why we were chosen.
Okay.
Isn't that kind of a bad idea? Because what if Dio figures out how this works?
So?
Well, that's what I was talking about the other day. If the information, what they did here, like if the knowledge becomes too known, like for example, we now get out, everybody gets a happy ending, and then at some point the Soys people pick up Dio, Alice gets to him and she's like gloating, oh, they did this, they did that, and he somehow learns about how this AB project works. What if he was somehow able to pull it off himself, go back in time earlier than us, and kill everybody?
Then the game doesn't happen.
What if we watch this unfold in real time?
It doesn't really work.
Counterpoint, Dio wasn't technically chosen. I don't know about that. I see your point.
He was led there though.
Exactly, so like he wasn't...
Kinda chosen.
Was he chosen or was he not? I don't know.
He was chosen to be the villain. At least there's that.
He was allowed to be there. Whether that's just a random wildcard thing or...
He's probably told by his cult already. That could also be. But I don't have...
true,
I don't
I
think
forgot about
he knows about it. Otherwise he also wouldn't have mentioned the bomb passwords.
Also, Psycho just pointed out, thank you for that, Sigma was born 50 years earlier. We learned in the conversation with Akane that it's actually been like 50 years since the previous Nonary game.
True.
So, yeah, Sigma is most likely, yeah, he has to be younger or older, born before Dio. So Sigma still has the upper hand if he just goes back to like being a toddler and, I don't know, kills baby Dio. Like the classic like time travel trope. If you had time travel, would you go kill baby Hitler? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, makes sense. They wanted to stop him, they could have. He was chosen, in my opinion. Yeah.
That's what I would argue too.
Chosen in a different way, but he kinda... chosen to be the villain. Like to be the lonely wolf in a group of sheep.
The story isn't over yet. Maybe he will be the hero and Sigma and Fire were trained to be the bad people.
That is true. You ready?
Mm-hmm. I don't like that sound.
Akane.
No, elevator.
I'm waiting for her to show up. She has to be here in the flesh before we leave the building. I'm sure of it.
I hope so. Realistically long elevator ride? If given the opportunity, would you kill this dumbass clown man as a child? See, the question is, what are the consequences? I would argue the same thing about the baby Hitler thing. Because what if, by trying to avoid disaster, you create other potentially worse? Ripple. You know? What if accepting Dio to happen is necessary for the world not to end earlier? You know?
I mean, what's that move, the butterfly effect?
Yes.
Where you basically make things worse and worse.
Yes, every time you try to fix the past, you make it dramatically worse. I don't know. But it's a good philosophical question, I think.
Like, if you do it and you fuck up, can you go back in time again to tell the person
Can you hit
who's
Control
gonna
Z
fuck
on that? Yeah, can you travel back in time to stop yourself from traveling there in time and then you go? It's like a spiral of time. It's breaking my head already, like we're 5 minutes in and it's like...
Basically, I once time traveled. I killed the master dictator Marvin Schuster.
You don't remember him? You're welcome. I guess thank you for your service. Was he manipulated from the start to place the bombs? Could be a case of entrapment. Only way to somehow redeem him.
But isn't he a clone? That means he was definitely manipulated and brainwashed from the start.
I mean, yes, Dio was created, from what we know, created to fulfill this purpose. It wasn't that he one day just woke up and was like, today I choose violence. So...
Yeah, but then he was fucked from the beginning already.
Yeah, it's always been doomed.
No.
That looks like we did it.
Yes. We should keep moving.
I wonder what happens to Luna.
Can she even leave?
If she gets too far away from
How
this
good
place.
is her battery? Is she wirelessly powered or can she sustain the charge?
One way to find out.
Oh, it'd be so sad if we all get to leave and she walks out, but then her connection drops and she just falls to the... She has 6G.
If anything, she stays behind because she knows.
Then I hope Sigma stays behind. Beyond the door was a wide hallway that ended in a very solid wall. To the left, we found a very familiar looking door. We pushed it open and went in. Was I supposed to be able to tell which door from the sound of it? She has the mythical Tenji. What if it is Tenmyu G?
I'm not even gonna respond to that.
I think that one was worse than my lock joke.
No, that was still better than your lock joke. Like, I was actually thinking about it while you were saying it, and it's still above your lock joke. I
need to moisturize my hands.
I think next time the rating is going to be like log and like 10.
Or not log.
The zero shape is kind of like reformed into a log, and that's the new rating system.
Like the Ubisoft logo. Can we flash? No. It keeps popping up.
Yeah, it's the one that keeps floating.
I was subtle about it.
I felt like I was as well.
Arguably no, but that's what you did. You brought that up. The pressure exchange chamber.
You know what this place is?
Of course we know. Yeah, sort of.
Has no one checked this room before? Like the same kind of room?
Well, they don't recall.
Yeah, but
Not
I mean
in this
this
flow.
flow.
No.
Okay.
And we know because we know.
Yeah.
This whole facility is pressurized, apparently. I think the idea is to keep the air outside and consequently the virus from getting inside. That means that if we want to go out, we have to decompress so we match the outside air pressure. This room here is where you prepare for going into the actual pressure exchange room. You see all of these suits along the wall? I figure we need to put those on and head to the decompression room downstairs.
Whoa! Hold on a minute! You're saying the air outside is full of that horrible virus?
Okay,
yeah.
we're staying here.
About that. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Of course, according to Akane, we were already infected with Radical 6, so the whole room seemed a little pointless.
If only we still had some of that antidote, made several copies out of it, and just took the gun thing along.
And the IG replicator thing, yeah.
Well, that would be a bit hard to take along, but at least like have one antidote for each person on them.
Yeah. But I guess that couldn't happen here in this flow because that room never opened. Did it? We found 2 doses of Excelivir in the last save. That's how we cured the others. True. We never went into the lab, was it? With the IG replicator?
I honestly don't remember.
We couldn't have made more copies here. Like, even if we know that it's there and we know how to use it, we can't access it. Well, the door didn't unlock until we just left, and then we would be stuck in there, so... Oh well.
That's fair.
Why? How did all this happen?
Did they...
No. That's not possible.
We've come this far. We can't turn back now.
All the doors are unlocked when the AB game ends. No, I think all the doors unlocked when we opened the number 9 door.
That was the announcement, at least.
Because then it goes like, the game is now over. All doors are now unlocked.
Yeah, that's what happened when the Nonary game ended, not the AB game.
Yeah, the AB game is just all the doors you've been through are opened.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Let's go outside. There's no way to know what's really going on until we do.
All right.
I mean, we went through all this trouble to go outside.
No one else objected. We all donned the protective suits and headed downstairs to the decompression room. All of us.
Well, why not?
Because there were only 8 suits.
Yeah, we're 8 people.
No, I said back then there's only 8 suits because of K's armor. But
wasn't
now
there
it
one
makes
kid
sense.
one?
Well,
Like a kid
7
size?
adult and 1 kids. Yeah, for Quark.
Well, we left Dio behind.
But
so.
8 suits, including the kids one, makes sense because we're leaving Dio behind. So, as soon as we were all inside, the process began.
I thought we had enough, but...
From my helmet, I could hear the soft hiss of air being sucked out of the room. We stood there for several minutes, waiting for the process to finish. Oh, true, and Luna is a robot. She doesn't need to...
So they really tell... Yeah, that actually makes more sense.
You would imagine after 90 hours we would remember this?
We gotta protect Luna.
Exactly.
Put her in the suit.
No one knows yet. Psst. It's her secret to tell, not ours.
We don't know what it does to her skin.
Exactly. I love her anyway, but still.
Even knowing Luna was a robot, like if the choice was putting Dio in a suit or Luna. I'd still put Luna in a suit.
Luna can have 2 suits if we have spares. Dio doesn't get one. We stood there for several minutes waiting for the process to finish. Are we doing that in real time? Oh, thank you, no. That's something I would do as a game designer. Like, have the story go, and then we had to wait several minutes for the air to be pressurized.
And no text in between at all, so you think the game gets stuck.
Exactly. Yeah, you just sit there and wait.
That seems like a you move.
At last it did, and we heard the door begin to open. We cut a hole into your suit to make Luna's suit look better. Yes, exactly. I'm very okay with that. Beyond it was another decompression chamber. We repeated the process 2 more times before we reached the final door and opened it. But that... Wait, my voice just cracked. It's hard, because at the very beginning I decided to give Sigma a deeper voice than my normal speaking voice. And I was like, I shouldn't have. I should have just gone with my normal speaking voice, but after 90 hours it's too late. I've committed. That bleak landscape wasn't a surprise for me. I'd seen it before in another timeline. The others hadn't, however, and although I couldn't see their faces through the visors of their helmets, I heard more than a few gasps over the radio. For a few long moments we just stood there astonished.
Where the hell are we?
I also can't get over seeing the Among Us characters. It's like, especially with like their shoulders like pulled up. They probably aren't, but their helmets are so big it looks like they're just like...
It works.
All
All that's missing is like a banana on their head.
Yeah, at least we already know who the imposter is. Dio.
Oh, like that.
Technically? Who would be the imposter in this? Would it be Dio because he snuck in here, tried to kill people? Would it be Sigma for looking exactly like Kay, or would it be Kay for looking exactly like Sigma?
You're forgetting Luna.
Oh, and once again Luna for being a robot. That's robophobic one.
Why?
Because it is.
She is the infiltrator.
She's been here before.
The desert, I guess?
I figured that out. I mean, which one?
I don't know, but
The desert.
I know what day it is. Look at the moon. It's red, right? That means today's the total lunar eclipse.
Dim dim dim.
So?
Remember the astronomy magazine in the lounge? Well, the next eclipse like this was gonna be on December 31st, 2028.
Except that was roughly 50 years ago at least. Yeah, sorry about that.
So,
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted?
I think so.
A week. 50 years.
A week and 50 years.
That's just, it's like this close.
Dio fits the role best. Objective. Join crew and kill everyone. Yeah,
Yeah,
fair
true.
point. Yeah. Oh, honey. Yeah, it's... I don't know. She wanted to take revenge. Like Alice wanted to take revenge for her dad so bad. How... Besides the whole hates, you've been frozen for 50 years. You know, that's a lot to take in for everybody. But with how driven she was to do all of these things to the people that did that to her dad, it's like, yeah, they're not there anymore, probably.
It'd be really interesting to skip 50 years though, if you think about it.
No, it would be horrible.
Like, there would be so much progress, probably.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you are in the same place geographically, but you're in a completely different place in regards to everything else.
I mean, that yes, but that has to be a weird experience.
Yeah, but I don't think it would be like one that I want to experience myself.
I mean, that no, it's kind of like those prison stories of people who went to prison for like years, then came out and the world is like completely different.
I would have missed the end of One Piece, no thanks. I don't think you would have. It's eternal.
Are we now gonna go like Naruto, by the way? That's continued on with Boruto?
2 piece. And after that, 3 piece. Wherever we were must have been far away from any city. The air was clearer than I'd ever seen it. And the stars. The sky was full of more stars than I'd ever seen in my life. I could even spot the hazy arm of the Milky Way. But the most striking feature was the moon. blood red and massive, much bigger in fact than I remembered it being. I have a question. Does Mars have moons? I think it does, right?
Doesn't Mars have more moons?
I do not know. I know Earth has one. I think Phobos and Deimos. Okay. I have a dumb feeling that we are on one of those two. Because that thing is red as hell. Now, it could be the blood moon lunar eclipse thing. But with there also being mentioned that they wanted to make a station on Mars, maybe they didn't go to Mars. Two geniuses, one thought. I appreciate it. Did I say Mars? Well, moons, in case that was me. But
you did say moms.
Did
I'm pretty sure.
I love you both. Thank you for calling me out in that way. Spectacular.
Mars only has dads.
It's okay. No, but I'm saying, if they had originally planned to make this place in Nevada as a setup for potentially a space station or a station on Mars, what if in the end, in the 50 years time gap that we don't know what happened, they didn't end up building it on Mars but on Phobos or Deimos? And what we are now seeing is in fact not the moon, but Mars.
But I am kind of with Psycho on this. Didn't we already conclude we're still on Earth?
Not conclusively. All I remember ever being mentioned about this was we found a audio recording of a conversation between an operator and a station, which could have been the trial one in the Nevada desert.
Oh yeah, I kind of already forgot about
and that they considered putting one on Mars. But just because you consider putting one on Mars doesn't mean you end up doing it. Maybe there's a reason to not do that. So they put it on one of the moons instead. Oh, I did say it right. We're talking about the classic movie Mars Needs Moms. I've never heard of it.
That's an actual movie?
Once again, it's lost on me. I'm sorry. You're casting your pearl before this swine.
How about before we actually find out where we are, we take a short break?
Boo! Okay, let's do it.
Brilliant idea. PRP.
BRB.
We're back.
And just like the moon, it was blood red and massive. They knew what they were writing. But I'll read the whole thing again to get us back into it. But the most striking feature was the moon. It was blood red and massive. Much bigger, in fact, than I remembered it being. Then, as I watched, a black spot began to move across its surface.
Is it aliens? Where's my hat?
I don't want it to be aliens, but anything can happen in this game, I guess.
And now Akatne comes in with a rocket ship.
To pick us up?
And beams us up, Scotty.
Alright, I'm shielded. Let's do this.
You ready?
No, but carry on.
I think I clicked out of the game. There.
It was hard to see details, but it looked circular.
If there really is gonna be a UFO, I have some.
I swear, if they're gonna pull aliens suddenly.
Well,
Okay.
we did have that discussion already. If we are on a different planet, we are the aliens.
Technically, yes, that's true.
So we do have them in that case.
The spot continued to move across the moon, heading for the right edge.
That's not a shadow.
That is Mars. We are on Deimos or Phobos, it doesn't matter. That's the shadow of the other moon. If we look straight up behind us, you can probably see it. Because, like, from the angle? Could that be our shadow? Like, from the one we're standing on? I don't know. I don't
The
do
angle
physics.
seems a bit weird for that.
What's that?
The moon. Well, the moon's shadow, actually.
The moon's shadow. I frowned. It didn't make any sense.
Zero told me to stay quiet.
I think he was worried I'd spill the beans on his operation. He said if I didn't toe the line, he wouldn't just kill me. He'd kill Quark, too.
When exactly did he say this again?
At some point.
And I agreed, like an idiot, and brought Quark with me. Just so I could see her.
I mean...
Oh, he got a lead that Akane would be here. So
Zero probably told him, hey, you wanna see Akane again?
That's why he went.
Such an idiot. So, that being the case, might as well start with this. I meant what I said before. That up there is the moon's shadow.
Come on, do it. Phobos or Deimos? What the hell are you saying?
Think about it. If that's the moon's shadow, then what's it falling on?
That's Earth?
What?
Yeah.
What? What kind of...
But...
Was this... Are they gonna go with a super poetic... The world turned red from the blood of the humans succumbing to Radical 6?
Isn't there...
How bad are you at putting on a sweater? Like, you make it a whole thing.
It's a whole operation here.
Yeah, somehow.
Isn't there like this myth that when the sky turns red, blood has been shed?
That's a line in The Lord of the Rings, and no.
Well, the whole planet is red because half the planet died out. Like, suddenly it makes sense, doesn't it?
First of all, you just lost your armor protection piece, and second of all, no, it doesn't. I really wanted this to be Mars, okay.
It's not the red moon you get from a lunar eclipse. And again, this isn't a lunar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse. Anybody in the black spot down there is looking up at the moon, covering the sun.
So why does the Earth look fully red, if that's the case?
I guess we didn't just go post-apocalyptic, a illness wiped out humanity, but something else happened as well.
And at what point do we now turn around and go back inside? It's like, fuck this shit.
You know, I have a wonderful solution to this problem.
Like,
let's just go back here. Life was easier. Okay. What? No way. If that's the Earth, then where the hell are we?
The moon, of course.
Quark's like, oh, of course.
Duh.
Well, Quark already knew, I guess.
Isn't it obvious?
I mean, Quark traveled here with Ten Miyuji. So I'm guessing what Ten Miyuji knows, Quark knows, and he also didn't say.
Yeah, so when Dio said, oh, I know a place nearby, hey, is there a town? No, not quite. There's like another space station or a moon base.
Yeah.
This is the lunar surface. We were just inside a moon base. No way. No, you've got to be lying. How do you expect us to believe that?
Jump. I guess.
I would say look around. Go for a walk.
Jump. Is gravity weird?
This can't be the moon.
We already walked several steps outside though. We would have already noticed, I think.
Unless...
What if there's like anti-gravity in these suits?
Extra gravity, if anything. Unless...
I don't know.
we go back to the beginning when people were jumping like crazy and we said like, we are on the moon and that's why people can be jumping like crazy. Did we write that down?
I don't think so. I also don't think it has to do with that. Why would you only notice when you jump?
Wow,
and how can Phi then just drop kick down with force?
Because she's really good at math.
That's not how this works. I'm pressing A.
Also, I wrote down, this Nonary game is made to supercharge Sigma. I think I can check that off by now, right?
No, because it wasn't just Sigma. And it's not a supercharge.
No, Tifa.
Does this count as supercharging Sigma? Because I don't feel like a supercharge here is the right word.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Okay, it is the right word. There you go. Yeah. Okay, you do get the point.
If I somehow get used to the 1/6 of Earth's gravity, it would be indeed surprising. 1/6, you say? Like 1/6 the brain processing speed with radical 6? I see a connection there actually. Somehow.
It's a plot hole.
That's pretty ridiculous. Besides, if this was the moon, how do you explain the gravity?
Oh, maybe we should have pressed A.
Oh, yes, please, school us.
The moon only has 1/6 of the Earth's gravity.
That's what Honest
you
Psycho
are-
just said too.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, carry on. If you know everything. She picked up a rock and dropped it.
See? That looked perfectly normal.
Yes, it looked that way.
Looked? My genius is frightening me. Oh,
As it should. As it should. Luna?
You were right about the gravity in a way. I was one of the people who knew this wasn't Earth.
She didn't even tell us before.
everyone knew? You knew? You knew? Who left me out?
One of the people, huh? Well, she can't say it. Okay.
Well, I suppose I'm not people, if we're being honest, but
I'll just stop talking, fine. Okay, carry on.
Excuse me?
Yeah, about that.
please just listen. Alice, you were infected with Radical 6. Then we gave you the Excelivir, which cured you. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though. Some of its symptoms stick around for a while.
One of the symptoms.
Is perceiving things slower, so you think it's falling at the correct time.
For real? So we're
Yes.
all currently having the
Yes.
same
We're all
side
having
effect?
symptoms. Yeah, we're all having symptoms.
Which only seems to address gravity. Like
Yeah.
everything else seems fine.
Oh my god, we just thought it was like 2 hours. In fact, it was like 12 hours and everybody walked super slow. It's like, oh no, I need to run for Alice. She is in danger.
That might have looked really fun to look from the camera's point of view.
Meanwhile,
Akane is sitting there.
Akane is sitting
like,
like, oh my god, please. Can I inject myself too? Please, boss? Can I? So that I don't... Yeah.
They already opened the door.
Yeah. 9 seconds.
Can go to the bathroom, get a coffee, come back, and he still didn't put his foot down.
It's
So
like
frustrating.
watching turtles race. Yeah. 300 IQ world building. What's the guy's name? Uchikoshi? Yes. Yes, it is.
What symptoms?
Well, Radical 6 can slow down your brain's processing speed by the root of 1/6.
That's what I just said, actually. Look at me and witness the genius.
It can take a while for your brain to get back up to speed.
How come we only have this side effect? And all of us?
So that the plot can happen. Maybe it's super
Like,
common.
that's the most annoying thing. Yeah, for the game. Can't happen otherwise.
You know, if everybody is slowed down to 1/6, then everybody feels the same speed.
Mm.
Every one of us has been infected. In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a much lower speed.
Besides Luna.
Well, yeah, she... Technically,
Luna
I
having to speak.
am speaking like... Oh my god. I feel really bad for her now.
If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number close to 0.408. That means our brains are running at something slightly less than half speed. As you said before, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth's. The time that it takes for an object to fall is inversely proportional to the square root of the gravitational acceleration.
Bless you. What?
There wasn't an easier way to say this, wasn't there?
I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody understood this line. I was not one of these people.
Since the gravity is lower on the moon, that means the time increases. I guess that's a little technical. Let me give you an example. Say you drop an apple from a height of 4.9 meters.
It's very 3D. It's like the apple's coming at you. Whoa!
It's like the apple is being like teleported up into space.
It's being beamed up.
Okay.
It will take approximately 1 second to hit the ground.
Also 4.9 meters. That's awfully specific.
Yeah, so that it can be 1 second.
Oh.
You know, you can only have one even number there.
On the moon, however, that time would be 1 second times root 6, which would be approximately 2.45 seconds. I used 4.9 meters because it matches up with the acceleration of gravity nicely, but it could be anything.
See?
Sorry, we never learn, you know. Everything we say, we did call that, is solved by pressing A.
Yes.
All we had to do was press A.
Imagine how easy life can be.
I know, right? We're just making it complicated.
That's what we do.
Does this mean we have Radical 6? Because we also play the game of, if you take the normal time times the root of 6, like that's our gameplay? Potentially,
yes. Somebody needs to do that math. Also, I would like to point out the reason why we are being like this. It's my favorite letter is X, not my favorite letter is A.
And X is very far away from A.
Except on German keyboards. They're almost next to each other.
Actually, that's on every keyboard. Yeah, but if you just put them along in the alphabet, it makes sense.
What if Uchikoshi infected every human IRL to make the story make sense? I would not believe that. I wouldn't be completely shocked if they're gonna say that.
That would be big brain strats.
Or slow brain strats.
You have a point.
The gravity constant is, well, a constant. You could drop something from 10 centimeters or 10 meters and it would be the same. Does that make sense? So now we've established that on the moon, things fall root 6 times slower than they do on Earth. That being the case, what would happen if someone's brain slowed down by root 1/6?
Nothing.
For them, 2.45 seconds would feel like 1 second. 4.9 seconds would feel like 2. But it's not hypothetical. That's what's been happening to every one of us.
Wait, you're saying that's the reason we didn't notice the weaker gravity?
Are you sure you didn't notice anything?
Do it! Do it, say it!
Think back. Huh? Sigmund Phi said something about it in the lounge. About how you felt weird.
It's kind of like my body isn't really mine. I'm sort of floating. Like that.
You walk normally, you start bouncing. Because when you expect to put your foot down for the next step, you're not on the ground yet. So everything feels kind of out of whack. Yeah. But at the same time, you don't perceive it as gravity being weird because your relative understanding of time has also changed. They don't walk as fast because their whole body is slower.
Excuse me, they've been running.
Yes, from their perception. They ran at like 1 root whatever 6 speed. Exactly.
So we are going back to that after all.
And that's why they also didn't bounce, yes. Because if you take longer to like do anything, you know?
What's with these logical explanations?
I think I just feel that way because I said these things and you're like, nah. It seemed insane, but what Luna said made sense. In fact, it explained Phi's apparently superhuman strength quite well.
But how come Sigma couldn't do it?
We never tried.
We couldn't even get out of the AB room.
Because we didn't try. Because if you look at the ceiling of this room, you wouldn't go, I can jump that. You wouldn't even attempt it. Why would you?
My toxic trait is believing I could.
I can dunk from standing. Here you probably could, yeah.
Wait. This is crazy.
Yeah, it actually
That
is.
can't possibly be Earth out there. Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth, and it's blue and green and beautiful.
Yeah, why it gotta be red?
Very understandable.
Why is it red?
Someone explain. Someone wants to explain before I press A?
I'm saying the reason why this Nonary game was set up, the A-B thingy, was, like I said in the beginning, very early on, I believe, in the beginning, it isn't just to do this game, it is to make sure that didn't happen. That's the big bad thing that needs to retroactively be stopped.
Why would a virus paint the world red though?
Maybe it wasn't the virus, maybe it was an effect of a virus. So it's not the poetic, it's the blood of humanity seeping through the ground and into the water. Maybe it's I don't know, somebody had Radical 6, pressed the button for all the nukes, and terraforming happened somehow.
That doesn't look like it, but
just
sure.
wait, it will be something like that.
Aliens dropped their red paint while passing by.
All of it. All of the color red somehow got there.
Only on half of the planet. The other half still looks fine.
Basically, Bloodborne became canon IRL. Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
That thing is just red.
but pretty.
That's reddest.
Before we get into that, I should probably tell you something. This isn't New Year's Eve in 2028.
Here we go.
Today is January 27th.
In 29.
No.
Don't tell me. 30?
I mean, you don't expect to
Yeah.
have been frozen for 50 years.
Yeah.
Still no.
And just what year is this?
Thank you. I figured we would go 31. No. 32. No. 30.
Slightly warmer.
2078.
It's 74. 2074.
Close. No.
I'm not even sure how I would respond to that. I don't think I would really be able to process, and I'd be just like...
I'd have an
Okay.
existential crisis,
Okay.
fall down on my knees, somehow scrape my suit, and then die in the vacuum of space.
That sounds so absolutely like you.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I would feel like my brain explodes. I would have the whole movie-like breakdown where I start screaming and kicking and fall down to my knees because of a sudden move, and like space sand on the moon just cuts a sliver into my suit, and then you start hearing the hissing, and then I get blue and die. Yeah.
That would be your ending,
Yeah.
100%.
That's why I don't go to space. Shouldn't. It's not a good idea. No. That's insane. That would mean we were abducted more than 45 years ago.
I don't blame you if you don't believe me, but it's the truth.
How can you be sure?
It's not that hard. Quark and I left Earth on January 23rd, 2074. Solar eclipses are easy to predict. We've known that there'd be one on the 27th for a long time. That's just science. Nobody can change that.
But why is the Earth red?
That's a long story.
Can't wait
For
for Ted to tell
another
Clover that he's Junpei.
Yeah,
He did probably
He didn't-
in one of the line. We don't know for certain.
it was alluded to that he did in one of the floors, but not in this one. At least not yet.
About 45 years ago, on April 13th, 2029, there were 18 annihilation reactors operating in various parts of the world.
Okay, carry on. Yes, carry on. That sounds an awful lot like what I said. Please,
Gosh.
Mr. Tenmiyuji, Junpei, can I say Jumpy? Please, carry on. Help me dab on this one. I'm getting one arm ready to do the...
Do I still want to press A?
Yes, you do, Tifa.
On the 13th, all 18 of them went up, all at the same time. The explosion was about 180,000 times as powerful as the atom bomb they dropped on Hiroshima.
Before I get into this,
The cloud. This cloud right now is you. Wait.
I see it too.
You see the... Oh, fuck.
No. We can make that happen. We can make that happen. Wait. It's there.
No, that's not an eye. That's a... Wait. You missed the eye. Oh, you made such a creepy version out of it.
Yes.
Can I redo this?
It's a death cloud, Tifa. Of course it's creepy.
No. Your death cloud has issues.
Yeah, it's the thing that ended humanity, of course. A happy little cloud of death. Exactly.
This isn't an eye. This is a thingy. And it has a little tongue here. There.
Okay, yeah.
Can I redo this eye?
Wow. I can't believe you did that.
Like it goes...
The dev team morpho jumped into the future to watch the stream and coming up with a lore. Yeah.
There.
Whoopsie, I farted. Yeah.
And here, let's complete the tree. Make some grass.
It's beautiful.
Now it's like a tree at a pond.
Yeah. This is absolutely wonderful.
It is, no?
Yeah.
It all comes together. I like it.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I just realized the biggest thing!
Wait, what?
Wait!
What is
Everybody, quick! Look at the top left of the game screen. Look what it says. Brain memory!
Did it always say that?
Yes!
Are you sure?
Yes! They literally tell you with an in-game mechanic you have from the very beginning that when you jump, you retain your memories and you get better at it. As you keep going through the game, you probably add things to this thing.
Shit. I said...
It's always been there.
I have never noticed.
Because we can jump all we want across the floors and the brain memory thing stays there. It's not just a memo, it's actually his memories.
Nice little touch. Even if you notice before, it also makes it like a brain memory. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
like
I don't
a brain
have that.
memory for you.
I don't have that, that's why I need to write down things. But there was something else I wanted to do. Tifa?
What?
How does it feel? Again!
It's fully deserved. It's fully deserved.
You may be the math queen and you can do all of these amazing things, and thank you for being able to do them and helping me with stuff. But
how about you just give us a recap of the ending?
no, that would be spoilers.
My god. Is there something you're... From now on, every time you'll say something, I'm just going to agree.
You all made fun of me. Oh, what is Jack smoking? What is he using to get high to come up with all of this? I'm wearing this now for your protection. Yeah. I should put it over my mouth.
I think we all need one at this point.
It's like Magneto or like Professor X, the X-Men. This is to make my brain not go full morpho field on all of you. You couldn't handle this truth.
I'll press A for the sake of all of us.
Oh, what? Why?
I suppose it started a few months before that. The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada.
The X-Men. Yes, that needs to be a comic.
On December 31st, 2028, there was an accident.
The X-Men starts like this.
Yeah.
You have this nice little pond with platypuses and
farts of death clouds.
Until one day, the evil Tenmyuji showed up.
On December 31st, there was an accident. In the lab, they were doing tests with Radical 6. The Myrmidons, free the soul, broke in, killed everybody, and released it into the air. Radical 6 then caused all of these horrible accidents, among them there being nobody to do maintenance for the reactors that had just gone online.
I think the people who were working in the reactors or had the codes to put them off had the suicide thing and went like...
That's what I'm saying. There was nobody to make sure this doesn't happen because reactors overheat.
You said no maintenance. I don't think this is a no maintenance thing. It was probably done on purpose.
Doesn't explain what of the
This was on purpose as a...
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. We're in the future. We've come so far with like globalization and technology that all of these 18 reactors were built by the same company. They are carbon copies of each other.
No.
They operate the same. They break down the same way.
That was just people who wanted to commit suicide and took the entire planet along. And yes, that is the best platypussy you've ever seen.
Yes. It's monetary man. Watch it. Watch it.
I agree with the whole, virus escaped, blah blah, but those were set off on purpose.
Okay, now that I've told you what's gonna happen, let's watch it unfold.
Well, accident doesn't quite convey the right sense of the thing. The point is, Radical 6 claimed its first victims there, then escaped.
This is not what you said.
Didn't take long for it to spread to the rest of the world.
It's not what you said.
Like Luna explained, the virus slows your brain down, but eventually, it also makes you kill yourself. Pretty soon, the bodies started to pile up.
Oh, that's what this is.
That's the shot from the beginning, yeah?
Some people would take a dive off a building or shoot themselves in the head. You know, the classics. But for some, it was poison or fire or asphyxiation or the noose. Plenty of people jumped in front of trains or cars. One pilot on a passenger airline drove his plane into the ground.
No.
Most forms of transportation ground to a halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed, and thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation.
It's kind of crazy to think about how easy it is for society, like around the world, to collapse. Like, all over the world, like companies, politicians have spent decades to try to make the world a more united place. Everybody trades with everyone, everybody ships stuff back and forth. And now we need that network to keep going, because the moment it doesn't, most of it just implodes.
Well, people don't really know how to hunt anymore and collect their food or which berries to eat and which not to eat, so...
Yeah,
this will happen fast
if I had
enough.
to go forage for food, I would go outside, pick berries, eat them, and die from poisoning in the next 6 hours.
You would pick the first thing.
This is a raspberry, right? Yeah. And people shit on truckers. Yeah, we need everybody to do this. Like, we need everybody to make all of this work. It's wild. Asphyxiation, axe to the back, using golden gun to hold people hostage. The classics. He's seen some shit, yeah.
Well, all of them are kind of the ones he said as the classics are kind of the classic suicide.
They're all things we have read about.
They're easily accessible. Like anyone can jump in front of a train or a car. You can easily get the stuff to like hang yourself. Like in places where guns are common, like in the US, it's very easy to shoot yourself. Like it's it does count as a classic. Poison, I mean, just get some bleach from your cupboard or something. Also,
it wasn't like they all traveled to Nepal to climb the Mount Everest and freeze on board, you know?
Yeah, like that's just not a classic.
Yeah, that's more extra. Anyway, let's carry on.
So I do get what he's saying.
Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses, covered in flies and rats and crows.
And then people get sick from this and die.
Yeah, when diseases start spreading, yeah, of course.
Exactly.
I don't know what hell's like, but I imagine it's a lot like that. After a while, people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another. They got a hold of some radios and organized a couple meetings. There was only one thing to discuss, of course. How could they get rid of Radical 6? The answer, they decided, was purification. They figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth and that'd kill the virus off for good.
Oh my god.
On April 13th in 2029, they put their plan into effect.
Oh, so just like wipe out the surface and start over.
Do you remember, Tifa, when a certain president said, yeah, COVID, sunlight kills it. Can we put like sunlight in people's bodies? Yeah, he did.
Really?
Yes, he did. Then he also suggested people inject themselves with bleach. By the way, don't. That's gonna kill you.
That I do remember.
It was the same press conference. I mean, UV light is not good for viruses, right? That's a thing. That's true. But I don't think nuking the planet in different 18 places is... So I guess they wanted to like burn it off.
I mean, we build it up once, can't build it up again.
It's not good for human bodies. No, not at all. Okay.
That plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors.
Okay, I did not get this part of the story right.
Now the truth is, that's mostly just rumor. Nobody really knows what happened.
Oh, I am right after.
But I've got my own theories. I think that the bombers had already been infected. And when they died, they took billions with them.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's what I said.
The bombers have been infected and set them off.
It's just a theory, Tifa. It could have just been neglect.
You were like, no, that is not neglect.
Just theories. There's nobody to ask, nobody to confirm your story. Mine is
it would take
just
longer than 50 years of neglect for those things to go poof.
It was 2 years. Not even.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. High tech.
The ultimate if I die, you're coming with me gesture, I suppose.
It's not a Samsung
Very
phone.
Myrmidon. Samsung Note 7.
Or TV. I remember our TV.
It was LG that broke.
Was that LG?
Yeah, one day after the warranty.
Sorry, Samsung, I take it back. LG?
Fuck you. Tenuji says 2 of the most accepted theories, both of which align with Tifa's guess. See, yes! Theories!
It's not proven.
This is Jack's How to Win a Debate 101. Just don't concede. Yeah, theories.
Nah.
Just like my theories.
You don't have this one.
Just wait.
I'd bet you money they'd all lost it long before they got to the reactors. Killing most of the world, no matter how bad things had gotten, was not a sane plan.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if it wasn't directly responsible, Radical 6 killed most of the people on Earth.
Which confirms what I said. I think I read about the tactics somewhere. Some book called The Art of the Deal. Okay, now we're going too far. I take it back. I'm sorry for trying to make those jokes. They were supposed to be for comedic purposes. Take it back. If I ever stoop like completely to that level, unironically, somebody please stop.
Yeah, well, I think we might have already reached that.
We've reached Event Horizon.
You have reached Log Horizon.
It's an amazing anime.
Yes, it is. But not the one I'm talking about.
I'll take it.
Anyway, why it happened isn't that important.
It is to me.
It happened. You ever heard of
I'll just take it.
Well, that's basically what we got. The explosion threw a ton of crap up into the stratosphere, where it joined up with smoke and ash from all the fires. It blotted out the sun for 7 years. Plants withered and animals died by the millions. The few humans who were left banded together to survive.
I guess they moved underground?
They were rough times.
Because, like, doesn't that also dramatically reduce the oxygen in the air? If all plant life, or most plant life dies?
One would think so. But you still have plants that can survive and thrive in the dark. So that's probably what they will be going for.
Okay.
I also am really doubtful about the whole, the humans band together. Like, I'm quite sure it's in every apocalyptic movie and everyone will just start. You'll have like small groups forming.
Do you really want
all of
Tenma
these small
Yuji to
groups
give
start
you
killing
the
each other?
500-year recap of all the different factions in every country all around the world and how the bandits did whatnot?
I do not believe humanity is capable of working together in times like this.
A group of people banded together. There. Better for you?
Eventually, they were over, though. The sky cleared and the sun came back. Plants started blooming again, and the animals that hadn't died out completely began to reappear.
Suddenly, wolf.
Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now, but there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air. That's what you're seeing. You know why a sunset's red? Well, this is the same thing.
Oh, there's iron in the air, I guess.
Blue and green light have short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air. Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength, which means it'll get a lot farther when the air's dirty. So there you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the atmosphere.
Oh wait, iron burns red. It's not that. It's not actually on fire. Okay.
That's science that breaks my head.
Basically,
I can't imagine it.
If there's shit in the air changes color.
Yeah, I get what he's saying, but I'm just seeing like these sticks of color.
He just
Some are
explained for a
shorter.
reason why when you look up at the sky, it looks blue on a sunny day.
Yeah.
How the
Still,
light
my
breaks.
mind can't comprehend.
It's okay, I'll keep explaining it to you. Where's Akane? I was speechless. What could I possibly say?
Waiting for us inside, since there's nowhere to go.
There was no reason for Tenmyuji to lie to us. So we were standing on the moon, looking at the Earth. It was 2074. But why? Why were we there? Why were we then? My stomach agrees. I was so lost and thought I barely noticed Fi's approach.
Hey, Sigma. I think I figured something out.
Bring it.
A window popped up on the inside of my helmet with a whisper in the corner. She's sliding into our DMs. She seemed to be using a circuit only we could hear.
How do you even figure out how that works?
She boops her nose against the inside of the control panels in the helmet, I guess. Or maybe a button on the glass.
I guess.
Yeah. What is it?
I figured out why there's an extra E.
The 9 of Lion ate the sun.
Oh.
An extra E.
Tenmyuji, and that's how human civilization collapsed.
Pretty much. Everybody lived happily until the Fire Nation attacked.
I did like Tenmyuji's explanation though, because even though I might not get the science behind it, I understood his
Messed up.
explanations.
Yeah, bomb, bad. Radical 6, worse. Things, really bad.
Like finally a long story / explanation that made sense and didn't need examples to explain what they're saying.
I'm not sure you're trying to attack me, but I feel attacked.
Why?
I don't know,
when Luna earlier is explaining something, she's like, oh, that's very technical. Let me simplify it for you with these examples.
I was thinking of when I try to tell a story.
No, I'm talking about the actual characters. Or when Fi or Alice come with this whole explanation that goes above my head, and then they need to give a whole nother explanation.
Have you heard of babies, Sigma?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, yeah, Ringo, you have a point. We're sitting here having our world shattered in front of us, and he goes, oh, by the way, I figured out the words. It's somebody had to, I guess.
I mean, it gets old fast. How long are you going to have a crisis for?
Yeah, true, just suck it up.
Exactly.
An extra E. Oh, you mean the graffiti?
No, that doesn't have any.
Graffiti E.
The one on floor B. I think it's an anagram, just like on floor A.
We said as much, but what's Anna say this time?
God damn it, Sigma! Knock it off!
There has to be, really quick, there has to be at least one person called Anna, who had the genius idea when Instagram just came out to reserve the name Anagram. I don't know who they are. Anna, if you ever hear this, genius move.
I mean, you can look that up, but...
Later.
Memento mori if the 9th lion ate the sun.
It's 9 left.
someone wrote this line and they were like, oh, we're missing an E. This doesn't work, but I really want this text.
Maybe it is not supposed to be memento mori, but meme-to mori. No?
I should have just gone with something. I would have gone with memento mori. And then just throw it on the typo.
Memento mori.
That hits different.
Yeah, it does.
If you rearrange the letters, you get
Everything.
on the moon rules the infinite time.
I don't know.
Yeah, that is one possible answer, or any of the hundreds, if not thousands of ways you could possibly rearrange those letters.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it before, but you have like these movie scenes where someone sees this, goes like it's an anagram, and all
it's
these
always
letters
the same effect, and when they're rearranged
start
on the
floating.
screen, they're like kind of burning usually.
Yeah, and then they
or like glowing.
rearrange them in their mind, and then it goes like dramatic moment. The man on the moon rules the infinite time. Like in my mind, I can't even get to the point where all of these letters are floating.
I can't even remember the letters.
It's like I can see the line, but the moment I need to like pull it apart and mix them together, like we have a problem.
File looked without on the internet. She went to game FAQs, quickly checked the walkthrough.
She just asked ChatGPT.
Or she just like went to any like anagram solving websites. I have these letters. What sentences can I make? Which one seems to make the most sense?
Like in 2074, that probably has all of our jobs, no? It can answer this.
It can already have the job where you need to make anagrams out of this. I don't care.
See?
No, I don't see it really.
No, but I'll take your word for it. There we go! There we go!
There you have it!
6 E's to get that.
Yes, you do. She went to anagramsolver.net. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. The #1 website for having your anagram.
The one site that's still online after the world got bombed.
That and every page with fanfiction. Somebody has to read it.
I mean, that is true.
You have the rest of eternity with basically no humans left. Might as well keep your entertainment.
So they stuck an extra one in 9th.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AB project for one purpose. To transport the consciousnesses of 2 people into the past. Those 2 people are you, Sigma, and you, Phi.
That's only the official story. The actual only reason is that Zero, whoever they are, loves weird long anagrams. And he thought of 2 that were really, really good. But we needed to create a situation where somebody would want to solve them. So we did this.
You know the worst thing? If they just put the line, the man on the moon rules the infinite time on the wall,
That would have been confusing enough.
I would still not get it. Like, why not just write that down and then maybe at some point, like even now, we'd still be like, what does this mean?
Yeah. The more we do, the more I'm afraid this game doesn't have an ending.
It doesn't give anything away.
Well, it kind of implies that you're on the moon and there's something to do with time.
It doesn't imply that we are on the moon. Would you believe you are on the moon if you are in that facility? You would not.
Every time I do.
You would not. You wouldn't even think, oh, the man on the moon rules the infinite time. We must be on the moon. The man? That might be me. Infinite time? We can time jump.
Nah, after Phi's jump in the beginning, I would have... Being in space was one of the earliest things we discussed.
Yeah, in a video game. I'm saying if you are in a thingy. And even now, you probably wouldn't. Actually,
Wait, I need to access memories.
Whoa, I'm a
man.
man. This is hitting really close.
And true, at least she didn't just solve it in seconds by looking at it. It's true. So, what are you getting at?
My God, you're slow.
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. About 0.408% slow.
It's the side effect.
You don't get it? They're saying we rule the infinite time.
Isn't it obvious?
No.
Infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
And that's why they abducted us in 2020 something.
So that we can go
so
back.
So that we could go
time.
back early enough to make sure none of this happens. So I'm guessing the ending is gonna be a cliffhanger again. Like us, Sigma and Phi jumping back to before we were kidnapped. Waking up in our body, in the car probably. And then in our trusty car, straight up drive to Nevada. Like, no, don't do it.
We would jump back, wake up in our car and go like, oh, that was a weird dream.
Oh.
And then you just go, well,
maybe my mom was right. I shouldn't touch that marijuana stuff. Yeah.
Oh, these edibles hit hard.
These edibles ain't shit. Yeah.
And just go on doing your thing.
But
and then in game 3, someone needs to fix this again.
No, for real. This game is gonna end with Sigma talking to Phi. Where were you on that day? And she's gonna go, oh, I was writing my dissertation in the school library. And he goes, oh my God, we're going to the same school. And it's gonna end with a shot of them both driving in his car into the desert. Because cars driving through the desert on a mission need to be a thing. Jack's reaction just now was mine when Alice said the prime factor decomp was easy. Yeah, no. It's like, oh, hell no. Mm-mm.
Very big hell no.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying you think they're going to send us back 45 years?
Yeah, I'd bet on it.
So the ultimate purpose of AB project is to send us back in time to that catastrophe Tenmyuji was talking about?
I think so.
That does actually make sense because Sigma has a thing for cats and it's a cat-astrophe. That doesn't make sense though.
As a math major, I took offense. I mean, I fully get that.
As a human, I take offense because it's amazing that there are people that can do these things. Honest, like for real. It's crazy. It's amazing that you can do this. But I would imagine, I said it then, I'll say it again. If you can do this, you have to know that you are especially gifted at this. And 99.9999999% of people around you can't do that. Katze streichen. Always. I mean, we came from that same time period before it actually. So why bring us here and then send us back? That's exactly the point.
Well, Akane should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit.
Do you know where she is?
I've got an idea. Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
Tu fui ego eris.
Can you stop speaking Latin to me? The grave. The one in the garden.
Well, come on, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Was there a keyhole with a tombstone? Yes, there was, wasn't there? Didn't we have a whole scene about there being a weird keyhole?
I seriously do not remember there being a keyhole.
Am I Mandela affecting myself? Exactly, Tifa.
I do not remember there being a keyhole.
We turned and went back into the pressure exchange chamber, the others following close behind.
I like how without saying anything, because we're on this private line, we start running back and the others just go like, okay.
That's why they're following us. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
They're just following behind. Yeah. Can we go back?
Apparently. I didn't think we could.
Why wouldn't we though? We just gotta go back into the pressure
Because
room
the
again.
number 9 door is closed. There was, but the key in the bee garden didn't fit it.
We need to go back through the 9 door, true. How are we gonna do that?
I don't know.
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
See? They don't know why we're running away. They're just following us because why wouldn't you at this point? We're going to have to go talk with somebody.
Who?
You really need me to spell it out? The person behind all of this.
You mean Akane?
What?
I'll take that as a yes. Let me accompany you then.
Wait, why do you know about Akane?
I'll tell you when we get there. If you please.
Everyone having secrets.
The K ending.
Everyone.
The K ending. He knows her. She's his mother.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but like literally everyone is hiding something from the rest.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm a robot. Oh, I'm a clone. And I am you, by the way. Oh, I know you've been frozen for 50 years. Oh yes, the planet got annihilated.
Serious time for a moment. This seems like a good moment to also come clean with a secret. I'm German. What?
We've been together for 12 years.
I've
you
moved
tell
to
me this
Germany
now?
for you, and it's because you're German?
Is that what we're doing here?
Is that why we're here?
Is that why your dad speaks this weird language?
I thought you had Radical 6. What the fuck? I'm sorry.
Suddenly our follower count dropped by like 200.
All the weird stuff I can handle, but Germans? No. For historical reasons. Understandable. Justified even. What about Quark?
Do you have anything more to tell us?
Quark is left. Like the OG left. Watch. That's gonna be the thing. Not just a clone. It's gonna be left.
With you. You folks just said the magic word.
I'm going to then. So am I.
Why don't we just all go?
Is this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, she doesn't. Oh yeah, of course.
you know her real well.
Wait, you're serious? What the hell is going on?
And then she goes, Snake, how are your eyes working?
No, 7? You
You've
shrunk?
lost weight. How did you? Did gravity change again? Ah, shut up. Just shut up. Come if you want to. We don't need to do roll call.
Says the one who always counts down to open a door. Like,
Yeah.
and now he's getting annoyed that people want to come. Like, of course people want to come along.
Yeah, but it's like with me. When I say things, it's fine. When somebody else does them and I find them annoying, I find that character annoying, even though they're just like me.
Also imagine people wanting answers as well.
Lotus? Who else did we write down? Everybody. Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. With that, we headed back through the airlock. 3 times, actually. There were 3 airlocks earlier. Imagine. We've spent 90 hours trying to get out of this place. And they were like, no, let us back in. Can't believe it was Ninth Man all along. If I actually brought back Ninth Man, I would be not happy. I didn't like the guy.
I'm making...
What? The door just...
Does that just open?
I mean, yeah.
Well, maybe there's no lock from the outside.
Akane just buzzed them in. Do you have my pizza? Over
Well,
intercom.
I don't think there's a restriction from this side of the door, but...
Yeah.
Is there still a way to get out?
Clever.
I'm so glad I played the first game.
For a shut forever once the game ends.
But
Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course. But the door on floor B.
The other door!
are you serious?
They went through the other door! But wait. How do we even open this door from the side of where we are? Does this stay open? Because there's no lock. There's nothing to open the door from this side. We checked.
It's like an automatic door.
Yeah, but does this one stay open now?
I'm pretty sure it will reopen once we come across it.
That would be so weird.
They even said the number 9 door has closed.
I mean, yeah. I've completely forgot there was another door on this one.
Imagine everybody like spent the rest of their lives in there, in the other floors, because nobody ever checked the floor B door.
We checked this door.
Did we?
Yes.
I don't recall.
It was closed. There was no way to open it. We have checked this door. In every single flow, we have checked this door. So I
Maybe
get...
Lagomorph can just open it now because the game is over. Who cares?
No, I get that it can open from the other side. It probably has some sort of sensor where it opens. But now the question is, will it stay open? Or if it's going to close, how will we get back?
Akane.
And I don't want to keep it open. What if Dio gets out?
Lagomorph, command, open floor B warehouse door. Compliance. Done. She's in control. She's probably in like a control room somewhere. She just goes, please press the door.
Yeah, thought we might be able to take the lift to it, and it looks like I was right.
Any idea where Akane might be?
Yeah. The grave.
Wait, you mean the grave in the garden?
Yeah. Don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's alive. Just in the grave.
Just say the grave is a door.
Is a door. Just
make it easier.
This is like you saying these things. Oh yeah, Akane is in the grave. Just say it's a door. Anyway, let's move.
Yeah, let's move into a short break before we continue.
Weak, but let's do that.
BRB. We're back.
Anyway, let's move. To the garden.
Off we go.
Why do I need to press buttons?
We buy this super expensive stylish Spider-Man watch.
I guess they're trying to get full Spider-Man saturation on the internet, and that was one of the ads you had to watch during the break.
Gotta get all that merch out while the topic is hot.
Yeah, Disney, Marvel, where's my Spider-Man money? Give me.
Now, where's this keyhole?
Then we take extra long to get over there because we keep walking over the wooden path.
Is Akane really under here?
Where's the keyhole?
Yeah, that's quite obvious. It's probably gonna be super dramatic, like the water starts draining, and then this turns out to be like a elevator thing. Something goes up, and there's a door in, and then there's a staircase down.
Yes. I was kind of spaced out because I was thinking, what anagram could this also be? Analyze. I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. You see the keyhole in the grave? If I just insert this here, I pulled the key off my ankle and fitted it into the hole. I twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift.
What is this?
I did not expect that. I thought she was in some kind of lab.
Did she use this thing
to freeze
to
herself?
treat herself from something? Are we gonna go with if she is sick and that's why she looks so tired? Was I right with that?
I also believe they just want to make her feel old, but I definitely did not see that coming.
Or did they just freeze her, because why wouldn't they?
But if she was still alive when we started the rounds...
Wait, it's the young Akane. Do you think we're gonna go with this, that there's once again Akane manifesting
really
in two different states somehow?
But where did the old one go then?
Let's find out.
It doesn't look like a coffin. Yeah, it's a treatment pod.
I mean, it says that.
Oh my god. It is, isn't it?
This is not what I expected.
The glass on the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
She grabbed a hold of a lever on the side of her pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
What?
Oh yeah, flip it.
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1. Defrosting complete.
One disappeared like the adult. Yeah, I think you have. I think you're fully correct.
But how? Well,
Yeah.
then they would need to answer finally how Akane can exist in two different states at the same time.
Akane has basically reached godhood by now with the stuff she's been doing.
Do you think she's actually human? Or is she the higher being that Zero was talking about?
Well, she's a higher being than us at the moment. Like, she has actually pulled stuff off that we can't even do yet.
Because out of all the creepy, weird stuff that
You steal my water.
No, I didn't. That we've seen in the previous game and this one, so clearly the stories are like interwoven. Akane is the only one that could exist in two different timelines at the same time.
And just go like, whoop, here I am.
So she's in like this quantum state somehow.
Let's press A first. I wanna see her come out of that thing.
Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
10 minutes.
And this is gonna be the 10 minutes where Tenmi Yuji reveals that he's Junpei and we learn a bit more. Do it, come on.
But we already know that now. Even...
We, the players, they, the characters, don't.
Yeah, even Thingy went like, no, you're not.
Stage 2 is complete. The lock will automatically disengage.
We figured it out because we know what those hints mean. The characters in the story don't yet know.
Clover already did. She even spoke to Tenmiyuji and was like, oh no, not possible.
Yes, and that was all we saw.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I don't think he went to...
No, that was just now when we came back into the thingy, but...
Tifa doesn't... We're arguing two very different things here, and I think you're on my side. Yes. Press A.
Clover
Press A,
knows.
let's find out if I'm...
In this flow.
Right.
Like she just found out.
Yes, but the others don't. Alright, cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. It uses something called CAS to freeze human... Wait. What does it use?
Gas.
How I said it.
CAS.
CAS?
What are you, 12?
Yes.
By the way.
Mentally, yes. CAS.
Lotus is behind you.
Clover said, no, you can't be to 10 in this flow like 5 minutes ago. Exactly. The other characters don't know who Tenmiyuji is.
Yeah, but Clover already put it together because Tenmiyuji went to Clover like, oh, you know Akane well from 50 years ago. And
Either
this and
way.
this. Like Clover put it together.
It's Clover we're talking about. You can't even put clothes together.
Yeah, Clover,
You overestimate
Clover
it.
definitely put it together.
I'll put you together later. It uses something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
So by watching ass,
Miss
you
Akane's
freeze
like
bodies.
an ice cube?
Can you not talk over the wonderful voice acting?
I don't know per se.
I think so.
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Saying no, you can't be is definitely her putting it together.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
She absolutely did.
Yeah.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered.
What do you remember?
Everything.
That cold night in December.
It's not a Shenmue stream, Tifa.
But every time
No.
I hear that, I remembered. I'm hearing. Okay, fine.
Ine-san. See, everything. I told you now he remembers everything. I told you. Press buttons.
I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9. A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one.
Always
the 9th. I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
And the reason K was created from a sample of Sigma while he was in cold sleep.
Oh yeah, Sigma cells.
As a backup strategy.
Do you think though even...
Because what if the OG Sigma, us, fails? But what if somehow, through a stroke of luck or science, whatever, if we make a clone, we could use that clone as a backup, and that clone would be able to not just move his consciousness in his body and time, but in that other. Because if you are a clone, maybe to the rules of nature, you are the same being.
I want to say no. Like the way of thinking makes sense, but I kind of want to say no, because if you look at like the whole consciousness thing, it has absolutely...
Watch that be the thing.
It's not connected to one another. Then you're two completely different people.
I would say that too, but that's fine.
Because if it's like a blood thing, before I continue, you can also just go like, oh, I can move into the body of my son. Because we also share DNA.
I remember wondering, what if a clone can connect with its original? Which makes Dio so dangerous. Because if clones can do that somehow, what if Dio learns how to do this, connects through other Myrmidons into left, making free the soul, very much more problematic than there already had been. Assuming that didn't already happen, and we're in this like infinite time loop crisis where we keep jumping backwards to make things better, making things worse.
No one says Dio can do this. Not everyone can do this.
Correct, it's a fault.
Yeah, no. I really don't think Dio has the option to do so. Any of the Dios.
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
What if that's the reason cloning humans is forbidden?
This has already happened.
Uchikoshi is telling us things.
Then the government was like, we have to prevent this. And they went so far back to stop all of this, and then they just made it illegal the moment technology was there.
And then they did this, and it always failed, and then they decided, let's make video games. So instead of using 100% of their brains to realize these things and be able to do these things, these people, Jack and Tifa, just play video games. And wouldn't it be funny if we make them play a video game about the very thing we did this for, to make this not happen? Why do you accidentally press buttons when you move your hands? How do you do it?
Oh, but that would be kind of shitty though. Like, all of these things have happened. Jurassic Park has actually happened. And then they were like, you know what? We now prevented this entire situation. But to warn people, we're going to make this movie, which seems entertaining, but it's actually a warning to not do this, because what's going to come out of it, no one can imagine. And then people watch the movie and they go like, oh, we should totally do this.
Hollywood knows. Every piece of media, every piece of entertainment, at any point in time, all the way back since the Big Bang or whatever, was created specifically so that you think, meh, was a boring story, so that you wouldn't do it yourself.
You think no one is on Mars? Have you seen the Teletubbies?
The what?
The Teletubbies.
The what?
What's it called in English?
In every normal language, I think they're called Teletubbies.
Teletubbies?
Yes.
In Dutch it's Teletubbies.
That's not a language.
I thought they were Teletubbies.
Terminator was actually canon at some point, before Hollywood was made to erase it. Those are those Hollywood elites that some people like to talk about. Mm-hmm.
The platypus.
On this stream you'll learn the truth, people.
The platypus underneath the table wants you to believe otherwise, but we know what happened.
Yeah, we are the platypus underneath the platypus controlling you. How deep does it go?
Were the eggs of the platypus. Platypus lays
True, they
eggs,
do lay
right?
eggs.
I was gonna say, I'm quite sure a platypus lay eggs.
Meanwhile, back 45 years, right?
Yes. It's platypus all the way down.
Wait, pi 3.14 something something something. Math, it's all connected.
There you have it.
So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
What I said.
We already established that. And I think I was the first one that said that this facility was made to stop the virus in the past. So technically I was in front of you.
Sigma is 0.
I'm quite sure I even wrote that down actually.
Let's do that at the end. Otherwise we're gonna check this book all day.
You literally check it all day for your own shit. I can have a look now too.
If I was in charge here, we could actually see more of a story, but now Tifa needs to gloat. I don't know why. I would never do a thing like that.
Absolutely.
Well, not exactly.
Give me the book.
No, I'm having a look.
Let's all wait while Tifa reads.
I literally pressed the button for you.
Yeah, but I want you to pay attention to the story as well.
Why can only you look at the book?
We're doing it together. Guess I'll be playing with you. What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population.
Oh?
But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much.
Why not?
By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning. You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this.
But they didn't. You did.
You really think it's Kate that's behind it?
No, it's a time loop spiral shenanigans thing. Press buttons!
That's not entirely correct.
I was thinking.
They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary.
Why did we have to learn color theory, though? That seemed unnecessary. What do dice have to do with all of this?
Well, you had
Why
to
did we
think
play
about it.
darts?
You have to think.
Do we need to go back so far in time that we need to invent dice? And puzzles?
They're brain exercises.
I wish Dr. Kawashima was here to help me.
By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose.
Yeah. Have it confirmed before you do me.
Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension.
See? It's to make you think. Brain exercise.
Wait. The moment of insight strengthens your connection to time.
Yeah, you know that moment when the light bulb appears?
No,
That's
I do
when
not.
it gets grabbed from another dimension, pops up for a second before it disappears.
I actually do not know that feeling. Don't get to experience it. It's for you to perform a brain blast, I guess. Okay.
It's like your ultra special move.
Mm-hmm. You found it!
I guess. Sabe's happy.
Happy Friday.
Friday.
How you doing?
For some reason I was gonna say Sunday.
It's like the ignition needed to jump. Better theory than mine, but I'll take it.
That was the reason for the puzzles. Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential.
Also, if I was the one that had to make puzzles, it would probably be like Sudoku, and then I make a mistake and you can't solve it.
So, first of all, hi Evie, happy Friday, congrats on being first and second. How are you doing? I would like to use this opportunity to tell you that I believe Tifa and I have been storing our potential for quite a while.
And when are we going to unleash it?
when it's time. Why do you have to ask a question out loud? I said something that makes us look smart. Why do you give it away? I'm pulling up I'm pulling the curtain close. I'm pulling the curtain close to do a thing, and you just rip it wide open again.
I think, yeah, Tifa has a lot of potential on you.
You faked this book. This is not the one she took from me earlier. She quickly rewrote it.
No, I think I can't even fake this handwriting. And if you like look at that is not mine. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I will do a taste test.
Wait, what does that even do?
Why did I do that? I don't think there's much to store here anymore. You can't fake that to me after all these years. Which part?
What did you...
What am I faking? Storing potential? I mean...
Well, he's been storing it for all these years.
Maybe it's accruing very slowly. You know? Very slowly. So slowly that it seems like there's nothing. Because we're like 100 digits after the decimal point.
There is so much potential to store. It takes years before it's all filled up.
Exactly. Yes. If we wait another 100 years, maybe I'll make a good log joke. Exactly. To make a bad pun, maybe one day I'll be mediocre. Yeah.
Actually, that box we already opened.
Too early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the lock one, I accidentally escaped a little bit.
Let's get some more answers.
With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension.
Just. Mm-hmm.
You know what I don't really get though? Like Kay is just, I remember. And he's not even shocked at his own memories. Like technically it's new to you. All of these things. In this moment, all of these memories are new to him.
We've talked about this before. I don't know any like first-hand records from people who suffered amnesia. How does it feel when the memories suddenly are just there again? Do you have like the movie game breakdown where you go like, my head is bursting, it's all flooding back to me? Or is it just like, they were never gone? Like maybe now you remember that you didn't remember, but you do remember now. And it's like, oh yeah. It's like me suddenly remembering like an old phone number from my childhood or something. It's like it doesn't cause me physical pain. It's just like, oh yeah, don't know why I remember this, but I just magically do.
But if you now would get memories from a whole different life after you got new memories now, wouldn't it kind of feel like that's not you, like you've been watching a movie?
Yes, I think that is one of the limiting factors because that's gonna mess with you mentally. After you've lived 100 lives, just a figure, at what point do you just completely become deranged? Like you can't differentiate anymore between the things that have happened and the things that are happening.
Yeah. I'm just more surprised he's saying all of this so matter of fact, like nothing, he didn't lose his memory at all, you know?
I mean, he grew up with it. To him, all of this is normal.
Yeah, I guess. You ready?
No, but carry on.
Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Here we go again.
Who was the one that gave that? That was Akane?
Akane.
Okay.
Yes. We're slingshots.
She probably told him the same thing once.
Wait. Hold on just a minute here.
Slingshots. That's where I draw the line.
You keep talking about Sigma and Phi.
Yeah,
about what about us?
Yeah, you are all what we in the business call NPCs.
Collateral damage.
You are catalysts to the greatness that you are about to behold. Technically, none of this will ever happen if we just go back and fix the timeline. Sorry.
But what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is...
History.
Yes. I suppose I should explain.
Wait, are we gonna go with they're all clones? And they lured in Ten Miyuji by telling him, yeah, it's been 45 years, but really it's been like 245. And we're gonna go back to what I said, like half jokingly. This actually has happened a bunch of times already. They just keep resetting the damn game.
He kind of made it sound like that, so we're
Let's
all
find out.
odd people.
Let's find out.
Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand.
Thank you.
First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you could still be right. This is just what they remember.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility.
I've been wearing the same clothes for 45 years?
It's cool you were frozen.
The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029.
Why do I think that date is gonna matter?
Yeah, but I already forgot the other dates.
Oh, it's gonna matter in the ending because he wants to reassemble the team then. You wanna bet? Because like, oh, okay, now I need to remember to go to this specific place on April 14th, 2029, in like 2 years or whatever it is, man. Because that's when Alice and Clover are gonna go, hey, we've arrived.
You really think we're going to see that?
I hope so.
Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
And didn't even get up to go pee once.
Yes. In preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past. Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
There's your supercharging Sigma.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you already...
I think I did that earlier when you wanted to stop me, but... no, I did manage to scratch it off, yeah.
Yeah, I see this as an actual confirmation now.
Okay.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Yeah, we needed someone who could explain how this works.
Okay.
I mean, she's the one that went like, oh, this is a blah-de-blah bomb and we need like babies.
You need a BlackBerry for this one.
Yeah. Kind of funny that we need Alice for that though. Also, you meant that Zero Senior and Akane saw the timeline where the AB project worked, so they replicated the variables such as participants, etc. to make sure it works.
How did they see it? Maybe the game will explain it.
I guess Akane jumped.
Huh? But I didn't do anything.
But you did. In another history, you were able to perform a prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that sort of thing.
So, because they don't have calculators laying around.
Could you do that with a calculator?
No, but hear me out. I think it's a bit... I mean, it works. I'll accept that, it works, okay? But if you ask me, you could have potentially tried to create this scenario with only 8 people without Alice if in one of the rooms you left in a conspicuous place a book about math and decomposition or whatever he just said again. Maybe, potentially, with that exact number. And then you could have gone, wait, I've seen that number somewhere before. Wait. Like they just remembered the keyhole in the gravestone.
But maybe they didn't know what the number would be.
I guess. But, I mean, she also has a personal agency here because, yeah, she's trying to track down through the soul. It all makes sense, but if they say, oh, we needed you for that one moment where you did the numbers thing, it's like...
Yeah, it kind of makes all the rest seem put off like a coincidence.
Yes.
Like a nice to have.
Like, oh, that worked. Nice.
Yeah.
Because of your feat of mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your presence.
So...
Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark.
My statement about all of them being catalysts necessary for these events. There we go. They all had their little parts to play.
I am most curious about we needed Quark to go missing every single time. That's his only thing and he's small enough to carry and hide.
Okay.
And Tenmyoji, well, it's Tenmyoji.
Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, it did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see it, Connie?
That was easy.
If they needed a bunch of people to resonate, amplify Sigma's and Phi's powers, couldn't they also have grabbed the group of Espers that Zeus had recruited?
Oh, from the first one.
In the Clover ending, she goes, oh, they brought a whole group of people from the original Nonary Game.
The very first one.
To like work for Zeus, to do all of these things.
You would think more is better, yeah? To supercharge.
More is
Sigma.
more, I would think, but maybe not. I'm not a scientist.
Also, our... Oh, no, never mind.
What? Whole sentences, what?
No, for a second I thought something broke, but it's not.
No.
False alarm, no panic,
Skinner,
no stress.
congrats on being third.
Because Skinner is here.
And thank you for the resub. And fourth.
Thank you
How are
for
you
the
doing?
resub.
How's Spider-Man? I'm guessing you're playing already.
There's no way you didn't buy it. How's the game?
If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
I mean, he did get to see Akane. Even if it wasn't a hologram. We didn't say alive. Even though he probably will see her alive just now. I mean,
Hey, but still broken. Maybe one day I'll get to fix that. Sorry. I mean, if we're thinking like with actual catalysts, sometimes there's too much of a good thing. Yeah, true. Like, imagine if they had been able to... If they did like their first jump, but because of all of these like Espers around them, like they exploded in the process.
Yeah.
You know, like you're in a car and like you're in a race car, you're trying to go really fast. But what if suddenly you go so fast, you break through light, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
What if the slingshot just keeps being pulled and it just rips, you know?
Oh, and then it goes back. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just see the elastic like hitting you in the face, but...
Exactly. So if I grabbed a bunch of Zeus people that know each other, which could lead to issues in the game. True, then there would be like little cliques and people would work together. Like office dynamics, basically. Yeah, it's like a workplace.
And it's more planning, more puzzles. more rooms, different puzzles.
Yeah. True.
It makes sense. Just got back from work, had two people leaving drinks and some.
At 2 people's leaving drinks. 2 people left and they threw a party.
Yeah, sorry.
Nice.
I can't
Glad you liked it.
read anymore.
Happy birthday to whoever had their birthday.
Work party.
Did, however, buy Digis. I was playing it last night at midnight. I hope you did get some sleep.
That's probably why I thought it came out yesterday, because I believe you mentioned it. That could
Couldn't
be.
tell you when that launched.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know.
So Quark literally is just we had no choice, bring him along.
10 years, like, I couldn't find a sitter. There's like 6 people left in the country I'm in. What could I do?
They all have other plans.
Yeah. Hey, Zero, is it cool if I bring my kid? Alright.
I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you.
I mean, would you really leave a kid on a planet that has been bombed to pieces, has barely any people alive, and they're basically scavenging to...
The world is basically Mad Max apocalyptically screwed up. I will not leave my kid alone on the planet. If I'm going to space, I'll take my kid along. Yeah.
That kind of makes sense. Like, you'll probably not see him again either. Like, I won't assume to come back.
Unlikely. Besides, it's like, do you want to see Akane again? There's something fishy here, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
They don't even know who runs Bartertown.
Two
Two people enter Thunderdome, 1 man leaves. Bartertown was Mad Max 2? Enter the Thunderdome? Was it the second one? Or the third one? I was confused with those 2.
Definitely does ring a bell.
Yeah, one of the ones that got popular. The third one. Okay. That's the one with Tina Turner, right? Is it Tina Turner? The one with Thunderdome, I think. I get confused.
Game is dope. So, well, now you get to play all weekend.
Yeah, it's true.
I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth. What kid would turn that down?
I would.
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, it headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Also, question. In the first game, we learn right at the end that Zero is Akane. Or Akane. She said that.
Yeah.
I am Zero, or I will be Zero, or I would have become Zero.
She's the one that set it all up, yeah.
Yeah, and now there's a Zero again.
Yeah, a different one. They probably just went with the same name.
How do we know it's a different one?
Well, it's not Akane. Akane already said it's not her.
Maybe Akane set all of this up, and the other person, who I still believe is Sigma, is just part of it.
I mean,
Like a henchman.
That could be. I think we still have a long way to go before the end.
This is a long 10 minutes. We need a quick defreeze program.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out, and when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio. His real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother.
Is this the manga part where we piece the history of the characters all together?
Real quick, can somebody get me some coloring pencils and blank pages? I need to draw a manga, because I figured out who done it. Yes.
It feels like it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier?
No.
She mentioned a lot.
The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released.
Was Phi the one that said that?
I thought it was Tenmyuji, but
I'll take it.
somebody said these things.
Luna said that she got orders from
That's
Akane
true.
and one other and confirmed the other one is Zero Senior. Yeah, that was during the thingy, true.
If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization.
She could be lying though. That's
Because
what
she
you
was
believe.
made to lie. Yes.
Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given 2 tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it.
I have a dumb feeling that this part of a flow is gonna end with Sigma and Phi jumping,
Yeah.
but also with Dio showing up in the botanical garden.
Okay. Well, it depends on what happens in the third game. Do you have any clue what that's about?
In the third game?
Yeah.
What third game?
Isn't there another game after this?
Yes.
I mean, I think what they'll do at the end might also depend on what's in the third game. Like, that's a
but
super open ending.
I mean, yeah, but 999 also had an ending that you could have either continued on like they did, or you just didn't.
Yeah, that is true.
If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed. At least, not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an Esper.
Say it!
Doesn't mean the clones know.
Carry on! Carry
Doesn't
on!
mean the clones are.
Yeah, carry on!
We can set Brother aside for now, though. May I proceed?
That seems like that part is gonna come and bite us in the ass.
It actually might.
Yeah. Let's just ignore the big bad guy trying to kill everybody here, right? That's no big deal.
He just means we'll put it aside for now in the explanation.
Yeah, let's put that on ice. Let's circle back to that topic later.
We're still gonna get there.
No one objected. We were all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save 2, Luna and myself. Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves at a later time.
That is very sweet.
Would that be all right with you?
Well, it's Luna's story.
Yeah.
Luna?
Yes. That's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
Yeah. Same, actually.
There we go. Oh, you've been wondering that too?
Yeah, for roughly 90 hours by now.
You've already met him, Sigma.
It's you.
Termite Man.
In another timeline.
Yeah. Well, I saw a hologram. I still don't know who he is.
Stage 2 is complete.
That was the longest 10 minutes of my life.
Yeah, like half an hour. I guess this is also a good moment to save.
Nah, when we see Akane.
TP00 unlocking.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Nah. Yeah, just leave her.
Yeah, let's do it. So if the game ends when we open the pod, it's just
There's no
credits.
way. They're not gonna be that mean.
Go buy the third game.
There's no way.
Namek is finally gonna explode. Potentially. All of us gathered around the pod. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Took
Okay.
90 hours.
Let's get started then. Ready?
You don't have to ask, Fi. Fi laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I paused for dramatic effect.
There's your dramatic effect. You even got the heartbeat sound. Young Akane.
I did not see that coming. So, we have another clone in there. Why? Or is this Zero? Is this young Zero? It's gonna be young Zero. No?
What? Are we gonna go with Akane as some sort of quantum being? And she is like there, but she also isn't?
It's not Akane.
What? Actually, yeah. This is a good moment to call a day. The Latin phrase makes more sense in hindsight. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Boo! It's Friday! Boo! Press A!
I'm so confused. We don't have a late sleep in though. Because we're meeting with his dad in the morning.
That's true. I am so thoroughly confused. I mean, there is reasons why we could have been led here, and the whole I am who you were kind of thing makes sense. Because that was also in the Botanical Garden. Because it refers to Sigma and Sigma.
But at this point,
I swear to you, it's gonna be that they figured out that clones can jump bodies. Not just time, but time across bodies.
But then why do we need this body in a pot? What's the point?
That's the OG Sigma. That's the Sigma that was grabbed in the car. We're a clone.
But why do we need clones if we have the OG Sigma?
Because if you have confirmed that at the very least Sigma is able to jump across time, across bodies, and you have Sigma, you can make infinite Sigmas. Like K and us.
But why do we need the OG Sigma to be frozen then?
So that you do all of these horrible things to one of them to be able to master this ability, and then over the history of time, from this point onwards where he was grabbed, you keep creating Sigma clones so that eventually Sigma could jump 1,000 years in the past, because there has always been a Sigma.
I'm still really confused.
Assuming that you can, or that they figured out that at least Sigma, and I'm guessing Phi as well, because why else would she
isn't
be?
there a Phi then?
Because Sigma is the player character, and it's way more confusing if we keep seeing clones of ourselves.
Like, why do we even need a Phi to do the same thing? I mean, it's here for Sigma, or we're here for Sigma and Phi.
Batman and Robin, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson.
Also, Tabes, have you expected anything else from watching all of these hours so far?
Yes.
Like, you're acting rather surprised that we theorize half an hour instead of just pressing it.
The shock I understand, the surprise I wouldn't.
It hasn't been very different. I really did expect Akane now though.
Maybe there are also fight clones, we just haven't found them. Because there's this huge facility and so many rooms are blocked.
I mean, that is true. It could just be that Akane is now gonna walk through the door after the OG, if that is the OG, Sigma wakes up and it goes like, surprise! You found him! Yeah!
Yeah.
Well, we're going to find out on Sunday.
Will we ever finish this game?
I don't feel like we're any closer.
Yeah. The fact that it's on a cliffhanger is annoying. That's the point. I agree, and that's the point. Yes.
We will get there on Sunday. We're just gonna call it a night for tonight. And maybe, how are we like close to? Actually, we already asked the last.
There's no point in people telling us because we cannot be calculated. We're still storing our potential.
Yeah, it was like 2-3 streams I think last time.
I want to say a few things and now I can't because it would be a spoiler.
You can say them on Sunday if you join us then.
You're welcome. Yeah, this... Every time I think I'm on a roll with understanding, on knowing where the story is gonna go, it's like, no!
You did call quite a few things in this stream. Like, not all of them, but you did get a couple things.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever be able to play another video game the same way. Like, suddenly, if there aren't at least 16 different clones of the main character, and time travel, and alternative histories, dimensions, fourth dimensional travel, people existing in quantum states, it's like...
I'm sorry, with a lot of things that will probably already happen, like everything, if you play newer games or series or watch movies, like everything needs to has a multiverse, everything needs to have those things, like... Yeah,
Marvel doing those shows really, like, mainstreamed that.
I'm just saying your disappointment might not be that bad, because things like multiverse and stuff, you'll still keep finding. We're not out of that phase yet.
One last thing about this though. I hate the way a potential multiverse is treated in like most comic books and in the Marvel movies. Because first of all, it is such a big, everything changing concept. Yeah? There's infinite possibilities, quite literally, no pun intended. But at the same time, a lot of the times, at least to me, it's like, oh no, we killed our version of character. Oh, let's bring one in from the other universe. It's like, oh no, if this situation calls for this character, but they can't do it. If only there were two of them. Oh wait, multiverse. Oh no, we wrote ourselves into a corner. We had the life-changing, world-ending events happen. Well, time to go to a different universe.
That's kind of the same thing here.
No, here at least, like it's all craziness, but you can still put the story in a line and not like whatever.
Yeah,
it seems like there's still consequences,
goes like
and
this,
they still matter.
Yeah,
at least so far.
That is true. That is true.
Whether I like it in the end depends entirely on how the game finishes, I think.
I think we're gonna be left on a cliffhanger, like you said, probably, yeah.
Did you ever play 13 Sentinels? No. I know it exists, but I've never played it.
Never heard of it, no clue what it is.
But now I'm gonna play Going to Bed.
And we will see you all on Sunday.
What foods can you use to make your brain go faster for Sunday? I mean, not you, but us. We need like high protein, little bit of sugar, maybe some carbs to keep like releasing energy.
I'm quite sure there's something,
I feel like we need to plan our diet for the next 72 hours so that we can like speed up and release our potential.
I think that will just make me crash more.
Potentially. Sugar and caffeine. Alright, let's do this. Welcome everybody, it's Sunday. Let's play. No. I don't think that's a good idea for me. Anyway, time to go to bed.
Pressing the button.
Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. We'll be back on Sunday with hopefully the actual ending of Virtue's Last Reward. Bye! Bye!